Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 539. It's February 22nd, 2018. I got that right? My name is Nick Henderson. I'm your host this evening. I'm joined by Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
And Chris Davis.
Hello, hello.
And it's been 2 weeks since we've had a normal show. I want to go ahead and remind everybody out there that even though we didn't do a show last week, we did record 2 bonus podcasts that you can download. Check out our Dinner Time podcast. We haven't done one of those in a while. We went to Raising Cane's, had some chicken, talked about some random shit. It's a pretty good time.
We're pretty good at talking about random shit.
And we also recorded a special popcorn cast for Black Panther, which is also available now to everyone on 4playernetwork.com. Check those out. We had a lot of fun talking about that movie because you know what? That movie's pretty good. Pretty good, I'd say.
It's pretty good.
Does everybody still feel good about that?
On the movie can be heard in the popcorn cast.
They can. They haven't. No one's opinion has changed since we recorded this popcorn cast.
No.
Now that it's settled in a little bit.
No.
Yeah, movie's pretty dope. I forgot to bring this up on the popcorn cast because I saw it at the Draft House. Did they do before they showed the movie? They do
Chadwick thing?
Yeah. Did they do that too at the very end?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At the very end?
Yeah, so for those listening at home, the Draft House likes to do these things where they tell you not to talk through the movie, but
for those that don't know it, they don't only tell you that. If you talk or text or are on your phone during a movie, you get one warning and then they kick you out of the theater.
But a lot of times they'll
very
actually
serious about it.
But a lot of times they actually hire or they actually have actors from the movie you're about to watch come and record these promos. Yeah. So they had Chadwick Boseman?
Mm-hmm.
Chadwick Boseman come out to do this, and he was talking about like he's watching the audience, and he's like, "I'm watching you, still watching you, whatever." And then they played the movie, did all the credits. We got to the bonus scene, or whatever, and at the very end of the movie, people are standing
right after
up.
The credits are done.
Like the credits finish rolling, and people get up to like walk out of the theater, and he goes, "I'm watching you." Like the lights are still on. People are like, "Ah!" Like it was pretty good. That was pretty good. So check out our Black Panther popcorn cast. It is now available at 4playernetwork.com. What's giving you the giggles, Crispy?
Wow.
I still think the best PSA they recorded, for those who don't know, and you can just Google it, was an angry voicemail from a woman who did get kicked out of the theater. And they still played that before every
there was the angry one, then there was the angry guy,
That was real, right?
Oh, I've never heard the angry guy.
I think the guy was made up. I
the
think
angry girl is real as
yeah.
shit, and they still play it at the Ritz like before every show.
Yeah.
Oh my
god.
god.
I think the best
hilarious.
one they ever did though was Ann Richards.
And then when Force Awakens came out, they did a parody of that, but with Darth Vader.
Making that phone call, yeah.
Yeah.
I was using my lightsaber to get to my seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. By the way, I tried the special food they had there, the Ethiopian food, or the flavors of Wakanda, they called it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It was like chicken wings with like
that hot sauce or whatever.
I forgot what they called it. It's like a sort of the B, some kind of like Berber seasoning or something. I don't know. It was really good. Really good stuff. I'm hungry.
I heard the popcorn was really good.
I didn't try the popcorn, but the popcorn also had the same seasoning all over it. I didn't try that. I tried to, be reasonable about the food I was eating. I didn't want to try it all. No, not bourbon, SMG. Not bourbon. That would have been something totally different.
Yes.
They were going for themed food, and it was very much, it was actually Ethiopian food, but they called it Wakanda, flavors of Wakanda. But yeah, great movie. Check it out. Popcorn Cast is available up on 4playernetwork.com.
I will just quickly say, besides video game stuff, Burnout and I are still watching Marvel movies.
I'm on The Incredible Hulk.
Way ahead of you guys.
Oh, dude.
Like halfway through it.
My roommate Cam hasn't seen a lot of them, so I've been watching them all too.
Oh, that's good.
So
yeah.
How far are you?
Avengers.
Oh, okay.
The first.
I'm catching up to you, Nolan.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, she works all week, so I can't watch any.
Yeah.
She's off this weekend, so hopefully Saturday, Sunday, we're gonna get some good Marvel in.
Man, I was looking at the order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through it, and I was just realizing, man, God, Phase 1's cool, but like,
oh no,
Phase 2 is pretty dope, and Phase 3 was
keep getting
solid
better.
as shit.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back to those. And I still have not seen Ant-Man. It's the only.
Dumb.
I'm going to.
Dumb.
When I get there, I'm going to see it.
Dumb.
It's a fun
You got
movie.
to,
I did-
because Ant-Man and the Wasp looks...
I know, and
Dope.
it looks great.
Man,
That-
Avengers 2 is better than I remember.
We were talking about this over the. When were
I
we
know.
talking about this?
We were talking about it during the popcorn.
Oh yeah,
cast.
during the popcorn cast.
What makes
But-
it better than you remember?
I think that movie gets a lot of
The problem
shit.
I
is-
think you should listen to our conversation on the popcorn cast.
Yeah, I don't know if we really got into it, but yeah, it's just there's a lot there. It's not as like structurally solid or simplistic as the first Avengers is, so it's kind of like careening all over the fucking place, like doing a whole bunch of different shit. But some of the stuff that they're doing is really fucking good. And James Spader goes back and forth between being like the best Marvel villain ever and like one of the worst. It's so weird. It's so weird to watch. I think, man,
Is it because of the comedy they try to do with him?
it's not. I wouldn't say it's the comedy.
We talked about that. It was about him being more. He
Yeah,
comes
it's
across
about
as
him
too
being
human.
like oddly idiosyncratic for like what character he's supposed to be playing. You know, like there is a lot of it does come through in his comedy, but like when he's being all fucking arch and super villainy, it is the best. It is the best. But when he's like being James Spader,
It breaks the illusion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like this is an Ultron. Like, what is this?
Did y'all know? Because I've been like, every time I watch a Marvel movie, I kind of look into it a little bit more from what I've seen in the past. And did y'all know that Paul Bettany, voice of Jarvis,
Yeah.
has never seen Iron Man,
What?
Like,
and he recorded all of his lines in 2 hours.
I believe it. He's not in that movie a lot.
He's
Yeah,
not.
it's very small.
Yeah.
Man, I'm watching The Incredible Hulk right now.
Also-
That movie is not bad. It's not bad.
It's
I
not
think
bad, but it also is not great.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
great.
I mean,
But like, it's kind of like it's inoffensive.
it doesn't fall below the Marvel baseline.
I think it is.
They're
I
all
think it is-
pretty.
I think it's inoffensive, and at times exciting.
I think Liv Tyler needs more emotion in her acting.
I think it's rather strange that they consider that part of the canon, yet they never mention her character, Dr. Ross, as far as I can remember,
or-
ever again.
Or
Correct.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah,
Like those people just disappear.
even though he's in the end credit scene,
Yeah.
but like
He's in the
after that,
No, he
he's
shows up in another movie. I think for like a
General
scene.
Ross.
Or yeah, I thought he did.
Oh my God! Someone.
Yeah.
I
It might have been
someone
like the
finds out.
first Thor.
because they used
It's not
his
the first
last
Thor.
name for a different fucking character that they don't even like try to explain
Yeah.
or connect it. Like Martin Freeman's character's name is
Ross.
Correct.
Which I would think unless they were just like completely writing off General Ross altogether, like I don't think they would.
But they never addressed like whether it was his son or just nothing at all. So
It's not.
Well, the assumption
No,
is it's
because-
nothing at all.
No.
I mean,
No.
look the way
No!
they structured the names of these
No!
characters,
Yeah,
like
no.
I watched some of the deleted scenes from Thor Ragnarok. Movie's pretty. I can't wait to watch that movie.
Dude, that
again.
movie's so good.
Movie is,
Fuck you. That movie's so good.
I didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't
Fuck
disagree with you. Anyways, we need to get back on track here. This is a video game podcast predominantly. I do want to remind everybody, if you like this we'll consider this a little preview, check out our Black Panther popcorn cast, because we talked about a lot of similar things, and that movie's pretty fucking awesome. I kind of want to go watch it again. Sorry.
he didn't like the.
I got
popcorn
distracted
cast.
by the dog again. Anyways, is there anything else you want to... We have a lot of video games to talk about. We're
We
going to
do.
get into,
We need to get into it.
Hunt, Showdown, and Metal Gear Survive. I want to talk a little bit about Subnautica.
They revealed the lineup of what's coming to Netflix in March,
Mm-hmm.
and Jessica Jones season 2, of course,
Yeah.
is coming.
Of course.
But they're taking away all of Archer.
What?
That's not necessarily surprising to me. They get rid of like shows like that all the time.
Because Archer's owned by Fox, and Fox is going through the whole buyout with Disney because Disney's trying to turn Hulu into their big streaming platform. So they're consolidating all their licenses
Yeah.
onto
So,
Hulu.
so it's gone March 14th. So watch it.
That's
now
not
if you
going to
can.
happen. I don't know if you heard. I'm trying to watch all the Marvel movies again.
And then you're gonna
Slowly.
rewatch all of Dexter again.
No.
You tweeted about Dexter today.
that's because I retweeted something that I saw on my feed. It does not mean I'm actively watching the show again. I will say that Robin and I have 2 for 2 weekends in a row, because she's never seen Game of Thrones. We watched season 1 in a day, and we were like, gonna start season 2, and she's like, well, let's watch a couple episodes of season 2. I was like, all right.
Hey, Nick, I have
whole season.
I have
done.
a question for you, Nick. When do you think we'll get to user feedback?
I guess now, Nolan. Fine. Let's pull up that feedback. There actually wasn't a whole lot of feedback from our last episode. Reminder to everybody out there, if there's any...
Don't worry about it.
If there's anything that we talk about on tonight's episode and you would like to chime in, please drop us a comment at 4playernetwork.com on the post for this episode, and we will read it back and react to it, respond to it on the next episode. So let's get to feedback. There's only a
one
little
more
bit.
thing before you get there.
You son of a bitch.
I have a coworker who's single.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
I might try and hook her up with Pina. He's not dating anyone, is he?
Not that I know of.
All right, cool.
This is
I'm
on
not
the
dating anyone.
You do realize we're on the internet right now, Nolan,
That's
right?
fine.
What if tonight was the one night that like
Pina
Pina decided to
listens?
watch?
That's fine.
He's like,
You're not her type.
suddenly your phone starts ringing, and he's like, what's
My
up?
phone's on airplane mode, Nick. You can't
That's
call
right.
me.
You can't. That's right. Damn it. Anyways, feedback. Let's move on. Feedback. That's you, Chris Davis.
Yes.
Like I said, not a whole lot of feedback. Our last show was 2 weeks ago. Only a couple comments here, but I'm going to read them both anyways because first one's pretty interesting. I forgot what we were talking about exactly, but I think it involved something about theories, some kind of fan theories. Gonzo Lude says, I would like to add in my favorite fan theory from the Patreon question. This one involves the theory that Tommy Wiseau, which is the famed director, writer of...
Actor.
More infamous director.
Of the...
Infamed.
Yeah. The Room.
The theory is that Tommy Wiseau might be D.B. Cooper, the guy that hijacked an airliner in 1971 and made out with a ransom of $200,000 and escaped by jumping off in Mexico City. The reasons are that both have similar physical characteristics and have obscure backgrounds that no one knows about.
The only problem with that is Tommy Wiseau had a lot more than $200,000.
Yeah, also DB Cooper would be like in his 70s.
Like
wouldn't he?
there's a 30-year difference here.
Tommy Wiseau's pretty old.
Yeah, but
Like maybe deceptively old.
Yeah.
Well, when was The Room done? It was like, what, 20 years ago?
Something like that. No,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, that movie looks like it was maybe made with a budget of $200 or $200,000.
No.
I know. There's a whole thing. I mean, it's like it looks like it, but they definitely spent a shit ton of money making that movie. That's a very interesting theory. It's funny because I think a month ago I ended up watching just some random
prefer to
YouTube
think
video about that
DB Cooper
hijacking.
Is Zodiac?
No.
That's Ted Cruz.
No. Well, maybe. Yeah. No.
Probably.
Ted Cruz definitely. Joe Biden.
Is Joe Biden?
Yeah.
DB Cooper is Joe Biden?
Oh, I thought Tommy Wiseau was Joe Biden.
No. DB Cooper is Joe Biden.
I'd like to hear the thoughts on
that fucking madman.
Right?
Hijacked an airplane, went underground for 30 years, and then became a high-ranking U.S. politician.
Yeah, it's perfect. The perfect crime.
All the way to the White House.
Yep.
That's a very interesting theory. That hijacking thing in 1971 is just in general is a really interesting.
It is.
I watched a video about talking about that, and it's fucking bizarre.
Still sitting on his $200,000 nest egg.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
My time is coming.
Or more than likely, he fucking died from the fall.
That. So because they scoured
they never found his body.
they scoured
That's a lot of wilderness to go.
They never found a body.
they scoured that jungle for weeks and weeks and weeks and never found it. But
Did they look inside the bellies of cheetahs or other?
No, I don't think so.
bears.
Cheetahs
What if he
there.
jumped out?
Jaguars.
He didn't jump out over the Serengeti.
Which would make it the perfect crime for a cheetah.
Yeah.
A cheetah escaped from the local zoo.
Local
just
zoo?
To
Wait, this was in. Okay,
Let's get to the next question.
Anyway, sorry. Sir Thomas Thipple says, "Great show as always. That story Nolan told about the kid. I'm sorry. Is this a
Yeah, it's fine. Read
who pinched a mud monkey into the urinal was top tier tomfoolery.
it was.
I've never heard that term before. Yeah, no, that's pretty fucked up. Thanks for reminding me about it.
Is that okay?
Yes, see, I read that and I was like, I don't know. Can I say that?
Well, you did. So
I guess I did.
You
yeah.
did.
none
Thanks,
of us else.
Thanks
None
for
of us-
making me read that comment,
I wouldn't have
guys.
said that.
Damn
There
it.
you go.
God damn it. What if Bigfoot is DB Cooper?
DB Cooper, maybe.
I mean, they made that movie.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, what movie?
Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh
no,
no,
Bigfoot versus DB
Big
Cooper.
versus DB Cooper is
Wait,
a movie.
what?
Yes, that is a movie.
Are you fucking serious?
No, it is real.
It is a real thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a high quality movie.
No, it's not.
I forgot about that movie.
Holy shit. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing. Okay, anyway.
The thing is, the movie's like 80% about Bigfoot, and DB Cooper only shows up for like the first 5 minutes and the last 10 minutes.
He's a
of the
very
movie.
elusive man,
That's
as you
true.
may have already known. Anyway,
Accurate fact.
anyways, thank you both for your comment this week. Like I said, anything we talk about tonight, whether it's games or questions or
DB Cooper.
general tomfoolery or DB Cooper, please leave us a comment at 4playernetwork.com on the post for this episode, and we'll read them next week at the start of the show. All right, we got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of video games.
Metal Gear Survive.
All right, we're starting with Metal Gear Survive. Roll
From
that footage.
Fuck Konami.
Both of you are playing this, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Chris
Yep.
Davis just started last night because the Fuck Konami botched the PC release, and it took a while for it to get out.
So what's up with the PC release?
It's out now.
just
It
buggy as fuck,
Yeah.
or-
Well, no, it took
No,
a
it's
while to...
no. The game is pretty solid.
Okay.
You know, as far as bug.
Don't
bugs
use the
go.
word. First
just-
of all, let's not use the word solid to describe this Metal Gear game, please.
Exactly.
Well, that was entirely unintentional.
Why?
But
Have you played it?
It's crispy. It's more like Metal Gear Flaccid.
Okay.
Anyway, so I picked this up almost, I don't want to say as a joke, but I was like, fuck it, I'll Redbox it. Whatever.
I'm surprised it was in Redbox. to be
I was
totally
not,
honest.
there was every Redbox in town had it. I was not a fan of the beta, but that was, one of the main reasons that was because the game does a horrible job of explaining anything. And that's kind of one of
Which
my...
are sentiments you continue to express.
Yes, and that's
with
one of
the
my
full
biggest
game.
gripes about the game still, even to this point, is it does a horrible job of explaining how things work, why things are the way they are, and the way they explain them is poorly done. Which is frustrating. Like, I was talking with Chris Davis before the show. I didn't even realize. So right now where I'm at, I'm in the dust, which is an area of the game that when you're in there, you have to have an oxygen tank. You have a limited supply of oxygen. You can't breathe when you're in there, so you have to have this. Oxygen runs out, you die.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize that you can use this Kuban energy, or as I like to call it, Kubanos, energy to refill your oxygen meter.
Uh-huh.
But every time you do it, it damages your oxygen meter, and it costs more to refill it, like more Kubanos. And so the game didn't fucking explain that. And all of a sudden, it's costing me 15,000 Kubanos to refill my oxygen. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized, because I was doing something else, that, my air tank is broken. Game didn't fucking explain that.
Wonderful.
And so I spent a shit ton for no reason. All I had to do was go back to my base and repair it, and it's fine. It costs like 120 Kubanos.
like the tutorial section of the game only teaches you like basic movement mechanics and attacking. It doesn't teach you really anything else.
I'm still like, I know we...
So, Nick, let's explain this game. Let's
Because
talk
the
about
funny thing
Metal
is, we
Gear
talked
Solid
about this.
Survive.
We talked about this for the beta.
Metal Gear Survive.
And now
Sorry,
we've played
thank
a considerable portion of this of the full game, and I'm still kind of at a loss as to what this game actually
Here's how
is.
this game. Here's the point of this game. What's up?
he's dreaming.
Yeah, he's a dog. He dreams. So this is right after Metal Gear Solid
Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes. Thank you. When Mother Base gets destroyed. What's up?
Are we gonna pretend this is? I mean,
Let me kind of just go with it. And I
Okay.
talked about this at the beginning when I was casting the game for the first time at Show Solid Snake. Kind of. And
Big
I,
Boss.
It shows Big Boss, and I said, "Don't sully this, Konami. Fuck you." And he's only on screen for, I don't know, a minute.
They reuse an entire cutscene from Ground Zeroes.
It's a cutscene from Ground. You remember the very ending of Ground Zeroes when Mother Base is under attack and Snake's
Yeah.
on there and they're shooting. They use that scene.
Is that
And
real
this-
badass music and he comes down and rescues people? Yeah, about
Essentially,
that.
this is all of the soldiers that were there. This is, I don't want to say their story, but this is kind of what happened. And so you, like, some warp hole thing puts you on this place. You don't know what the fuck's going on. There's some weird guy named Good Luck trying to explain shit to
Good
you.
Luck?
Yeah, he goes by codename Good Luck. And then you meet this. You remember the pods from Peace Walker, the AI pods.
vaguely, I don't.
or
I
the
didn't
AI
play
pods from Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain. There's some AI pods. Anyway, one of those shows up and it's like, I'm an AI pod and I have 2 voices for some reason. And also, we're going to explain the plot of this game. And after 2 cutscenes, from now on, every cutscene I've encountered, I've skipped it. Because it is boring as fuck. The voice acting is fucking atrocious.
I think they're not even cutscenes.
I think that is the most shameful thing about this. I know it's not Metal Gear Solid, but like this is a Metal Gear game, and the name Metal Gear.
Look at Scarecrow in chat. Oh my god, the AI never stop. There are these cutscenes, and I say cutscenes in quotes. They are essentially just text being delivered to you over and over again, and.
I'm sorry. The dog's like bony ass elbow is like digging into the top of my foot.
Just move your foot. And so every time there's a pop-up cutscene where it's just throwing text and dialogue at you, they take a what should be 30-second conversation and stretch it out into 5 minutes.
Wonderful.
And it's fucking boring, and it gets you nowhere, and it's annoying. And so like I said, and you saw it, Nick, when I was playing earlier, I ended up skipping the cutscene. And what I ended up doing as well is I switched from the American voice acting to Japanese because
so you can't quite tell how bad it is.
Well, I can't tell what they're saying. I don't care. And the voice acting in Japanese is far superior to the voice acting in English.
Jesus, that surprised me.
But that being said, the gameplay of this game is actually kind of fun.
I mean, it looks pretty.
So
fun,
the whole point is you're kind of in this. You're at this base, and you have the ability there to craft materials, and essentially you're trying to survive. And every once in a while, you'll be given a mission. Hey, go here and do this.
Is this genre technically like a survival game?
I would say,
which is funny because
yes.
I'm playing a survival game right now.
I mean, you have to eat and drink to survive.
So you have a food meter and a water meter.
No, you're not playing a survival game, Nick.
I'm sorry, I'm playing a survival game with some of the survival elements taken out.
You're playing a fucking nerfed up exploration game.
So anyway,
because you're not playing on survival mode, Nick.
Also, there is no combat in Subnautica.
I will say a little bit. There is.
Kinda.
I will say that the survival in this is even more intense than the survival in Subnautica when you have it on. You have to eat quite often, and you have to drink quite often. And the biggest fucking rub of that is you finding clean water in this game is next to impossible.
Well, nothing looks clean.
Well, yeah. So that's why. You'll, on the odd occasion, find some clean water, and that's great. But most of the time, you have to drink dirty water. And when you do that, you get the runs.
Oh.
And about every 3 minutes, your character just stops whatever they're doing. If you're fighting combat, no, they throw up. And you'll see it right there. Perfect timing.
Yep.
I stop
Right
what
there.
I'm doing. You can't control anything, and your character throws up for like 3 seconds. The problem is you have to use antibiotics to make that go away. But since all of a sudden 5 minutes later you need to drink again, I'm drinking dirty water, and then I fucking end up getting sick again. Yeah. And so Toast was telling me, he said maybe chapter 7 or something of the game, or I don't remember what chapter, whatever. He said quite a ways into the game, you'll get an upgrade to your cooking, because at your base you have cooking, you have like weapon gear, you have clothing, you have gadgets, all these different stations where you can make stuff. One of them is a camp gear, where you can cook food and stuff. Because if you can't eat raw food, if you eat raw food, it get sick. Yeah. You'll get a pot, and with that pot you can boil water to make it safe, and you can also make like soups and stews out of animals you find that are more efficient. But I'm like 10 hours in, and I still haven't gotten that pot. And so, literally for the past 10 hours, about every 5 minutes, my character stops and throws up.
I'm really disappointed that he throws up instead of takes a shit.
Also,
this is a Metal Gear game. They're known for doing shit stuff.
Because it's dirty water.
Where's the poop?
My stamina only goes up to 70%, which means I can't do as much. It's really fucking frustrating.
Oh man.
But besides that, I've actually really been enjoying the gameplay.
I mean, the combat looks fun enough, and I saw you using.
It's really interesting how you can just get fucking mobbed in this game.
Oh no, you can. There were the zombies that show up,
the
wanderers. There are certain points in the game. So I found one right there, and you could tell that he was about to attack me, so I killed him first. But you watch this. Watch me get fucked right here.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with this. No.
So what happens is you find all these warp points in the world, and you have to activate them, and that will allow you to teleport around the world. Like you can use these warp zones to warp from one place to another. Like black
it's your fast travel system.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, real quick, just minor thing. All these zombies, I know they have these crystals coming out of their head.
Yep.
But it kind of looks like they're all wearing party hats.
It kind of does. Those crystals are the Cubanos. and every time you kill one, you can collect the energy from them.
The Cubanos joke is it's spelled so that it actually looks like Cubanos. Is that it?
Kuban.
Kuban.
Cubans.
Okay. Cubans.
They call them Cubans.
You're just adding a no. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
He's referring to the sandwich.
yes,
Right.
correct. Cubanos.
Not the people.
Correct. Those would be Cubans,
Those are great sandwiches.
A Cubano.
I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's another mechanic, and I think I kind of missed it because I was like, you have to pick locks on containers, and they usually have pretty good loot in them. The problem is if you make too much noise when you're doing it, if you do it improperly,
You're gonna
it
draw
will
the
attract
attention.
the wanderers. So here I am. I'm looting this place because I want to get everything looted before I try and activate this warp point, which will cause the wanderers, they get attracted to it. They come and try and attack it. So the whole point of this game is you have the ability to craft like defenses. And unfortunately, I was out here looking for corn. So I can make a farm so I can eat some fucking food, but I couldn't find any corn, but I came across this thing, and I was like, you know what? I can defend this shit. I realized I didn't have any materials on me to build defenses, like fences, like sandbags, stuff to slow down the pace of the wanderers, so I get utterly like annihilated here.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
do live. I do make it out alive.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
What is that thing?
That's the teleporter.
That's the teleporter
Oh,
that I
okay,
just
gotcha.
activated. And so you'll see I have 1 minute and 24 seconds. As soon as that timer runs out, every wanderer nearby will die, and I can use that teleporter. Now, unfortunately, I didn't bring my spear with me. Spears
shit.
are the best thing to use during this thing because you can poke through the fence at them. I don't have one, so I'm fucked. So I throw this Molotov, and it barely does anything to these fuckers. And then I'm about to get overrun.
I think you can shoot arrows through the fences, though.
Probably, but did you see how many fucking guys were there?
I mean,
I unload all of the fucking ammo I have.
This scenario looks fun.
It is.
I think this is cool, and the combat looks fun. If I recall, you never use a bow and arrow in Metal Gear Solid 5, right? So that's cool. Bow and arrows are always
every
great.
single arrow you fire, you can recover.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is really handy.
and it's also interesting that the bodies are persistent.
yeah,
like they stay there.
They stay on the map.
not during these attacks. They don't.
Okay.
This is the only time they don't. But you'll see every time there's like the teleporter has 3 health bars, and every time one gets deleted, it does a small blast that kind of weakens everyone nearby. But I just didn't. They're about to see how many there are.
Shit.
They just destroy it, and then this I think right now is when I realized I'm fucked, and I'm like, well, bye. And
Oh,
I
the
just peace
teleporter
out.
exploded.
Yeah, and so I can come back later and try and reactivate it, but I have to give it time before I can do it.
So does this game kind of feel in maybe not as a successful of a way, but kind of like Undead Nightmare? Like, because is this map? So do we know yet? Is this map like the map?
So
from Metal
it's
Solid
not
5,
the
or-
Afghanistan map.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It is very different.
Gotcha.
It looks like it, but it's definitely not.
Correct. It's not.
Yeah, but I mean, there were plenty of landmarks and whatnot that if I was playing this game and they had used the same map,
you
I
would
would've
know. You would
recognized
recognize
it.
it.
Yeah.
And they're not. But yeah, so the whole point of the game is survive. You go out and you collect materials. You bring them back to your base. You can right now, nothing's ever attacked my base, but I guarantee you it's going to happen at some point.
I mean, so there's a whole base building aspect of the game
Mm-hmm.
where you assign stations and you build things and things like that, and you can rearrange things any way you want. But you also have to factor in defenses and repairing things, which I haven't found yet. I assume you haven't found it either.
No.
Okay. That's got to be a thing.
I do have 2 people at my base now, and you can assign them to tasks. Think of State of Decay.
yeah.
Where you can assign them to tasks to do things
That's
around the
cool.
base. Like I said, apparently I can get a garden, but unfortunately I was wandering around the world and I had no food and I was about to die, so I ate the 3 potatoes I found, not realizing those potatoes don't respawn, so I wasn't able to build a potato farm to farm some potatoes. And now I've been trying to find either potatoes or corn for the past 5 hours, but I can't find shit.
What else can you plant though?
Those are the only 2 things I'm aware of.
Okay, because I'm pretty certain you can plant the flower things, the blue crescents, and the black carrots.
You can't make a farm out of them.
Well, what about the wild berries?
You can't make a farm out of them.
Wild berries. That sounds.
So you can find these
Unsafe.
you can find other foods in the ground in the world. You can find a gerbil, pick it up and eat it if
What?
you want to. Yeah, why not? But there's an ability on your base to literally make a farm, but you can only make it out of certain materials, and potatoes and corn are 2
This is a
of the
dumb
ones
question.
I'm
Are
aware of.
gerbils? Are they from?
I think it originated in South America.
Is it in Africa? So this does take place in Afghanistan.
No, this takes place on a different planet.
Correct.
Yeah, this is a different dimension.
Oh yeah. By the way, didn't mention that.
Are gerbils from a different dimension?
They are. They were teleported
explains a
there.
lot.
They're the only thing that made it through.
But yeah, you find there's lots of wildlife in the world too that aren't those wanderers. There's sheep. There's jackals that will attack you. Wolves. There's lots of things. And so you get sent on these missions to find these like microchips or some shit. And I don't remember
Memory
why.
boards.
I don't give a fuck. I gotta go find a thing, and I find it, and I bring it back to my base. I don't care. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about the story of this game. But right before the show, I was playing this, and something very interesting happened.
I know, I saw this
that
too.
took the three of us by surprise.
Yeah.
Because y'all were there. Everyone but Krispy was there when I was doing this, and something shows up. And I don't know what the fuck it was.
Metal Gear.
It was a weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
It basically
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Yes.
he was basically wandering around the world, and then all of a sudden there was what
I don't know how to
looks like
describe it.
looked like a kaiju.
It's a giant crystal monster.
It was
thing.
ridiculous.
And we were like, I was like,
however-
Nolan, I didn't know that was in the game, and he
how-
was like, I didn't either.
However big you're thinking it is bigger. And I don't.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I don't know if I will ever encounter it in combat. I'm assuming so because the annoying voices were like, I don't think you're ready for this yet.
The annoying Japanese voices were going crazy, but I had no idea what they were saying.
Yeah, thankfully it was subtitled, so I was able to read it. But Nick, here's the fucking thing: every time you're out in the world and you're running, as soon as you run out of stamina, voice pops up. Oh, you should be careful and watch your stamina. Every single fucking time.
So that's why you get the PC version, because you know people are going to mod that shit out.
I guess. Well, yeah, that's true.
So I guess I want you've only played like what 5 or 6 hours of this game. I think
closer,
the,
probably like
kind of the
7 or 8, maybe.
kind of the biggest question
Grown-up.
with this game has always kind of been, what does Metal Gear look like post Kojima?
This is not a Metal Gear game.
Yeah, but like
This is not a Metal Gear Solid
but,
game.
but this is the first game branching the Metal Gear name since Kojima left, and it makes you wonder: is this all Metal Gear is going to be?
This is a survival game that uses the Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Fox engine. That's all this is. This is a game that uses the Fox engine.
You should consider this like
Yeah,
a
they're
large expansion to Phantom Pain, I think.
No, I don't even think that. I would not lump this in with Phantom Pain, with Ground Zeroes, with anything. This is someone made a mod using the Fox engine.
And
That
they're-
is all
and
this
they're just
game
I
is.
guess
they're
that's
capitalizing on the use of the name. You made an ugly ass character. By
I
the
did
way.
that on purpose. Her
I-
eyes are as far as apart as they can be. They're white. Her lips are as big and pouty as they can be. She kind of looks
What's
like
wrong
a
with
hot
big pouty
Gollum.
lips?
Like a hot Gollum.
What's a hot Gollum?
Yeah. She's my
She does. She
she's-
looks like Gollum with boobs.
She's my precious Cubanos.
Oh my god.
But yes, so I mean, I will say that, like I said,
Well, this is-
I don't know if I want to continue with this game. I have been enjoying what I've played of it. I haven't played any of the online yet. There are definitely a lot of features of this game I'm not sure if I'm going to love or not. There's this whole system. I like this where you kind of get little missions. There's like, oh, go kill 10 of these. Oh, collect a bunch of these. That's nice. They give you some rewards. There's daily missions. There's weekly missions. There are these things that look like it's almost microtransactions. You have to use some sort of weird money that's in the game. But
Supposedly there is some kind of microtransaction,
which
in the game.
I'm never.
That
gonna
doesn't
do.
shock me.
Something
in
about
the
a save
slightest.
slot. I don't know exactly what.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
You got
Did
to.
you guys buy this?
I redboxed it.
Oh,
He bought it on
What
PC.
is it, Redbox?
Yeah, I'm about to return it.
I got like 25% off. So
I would say redbox it if you want to check it out.
I'm curious.
This is the hot Gollum show, by the way. Don't let me forget that. By the
All
way,
right.
please don't let me forget that.
All right. But yeah, I like I said, I am frustrated at how much I'm enjoying the game.
Here's this like parts of this game look like I would be really interested in playing them. It look that like combat looks fun. The world looks fun to explore, and shooting zombies is always fun. But like
And also, Nick, there's
I
a lot.
can't do a Metal Gear game without
It's not Metal
fucking.
Gear,
I
Nick.
know, but
It's
like
not.
it is. But like if they're gonna call it Metal
not.
Gear, come on, man.
It's not. Nick, there's machetes, there's axes, there's spears, there's all different types of guns. There's a lot.
Like
of
the
stuff
only
you can
reason
find in
I'm
this
playing
game.
Subnautica, I think, because I don't play that genre. I don't
Mm-hmm.
play survival games or exploration games, Krispy. But like I don't play this genre of game because a lot of times they don't really have an engaging story to go with it, and Subnautica doesn't really have one either. But it has like the most basic
knows, Nick?
interesting setup.
Maybe you'll like the story of this game.
I don't think so. Probably not. Maybe it looks kind of ridiculous, in like not a great way.
There is a story. I don't know if it's good or not because it hasn't been able to hold my attention, so I've just been skipping it. So maybe it got good, and I just don't know because I've been skipping every single cutscene.
Like, I mean,
The
again,
world may
you
never
can't
know.
call them fucking cutscenes because
Sorry,
they're
thank you.
basically like fucking codec calls,
Yes.
except 10 times worse.
Yeah.
It's literally just like portraits of people with boxes of text, and you just flip through it. It's like something you made for like a fucking mobile game.
That sounds like a codex call.
Yeah, it is. It's similar.
like that. Like you just described what is essentially the codex calls from Metal Gear Solid
But
1.
again, yeah, like 10 times worse. Like,
Okay.
so
Wonderful.
less interesting.
Wonderful.
Green Goddamn apparently is also the annoying AI is what he calls it. Yeah, so the thing is that there's like 2 different AI voices, and one of them's very robotic, and the other one's slightly less robotic. The Japanese version, they're not robotic at all.
Gotcha.
It just sounds like someone
Sounds
speaking
they
Japanese.
didn't. They spared some expense when.
No, honestly, they would have had to try harder because in the American version, they had to like do all this like manipulation of the voice to make it sound like a robot and stuff. They probably spent more money in America or trying to make a a voice whatever when they did the translation. But no, it's fucking dumb.
Well, that's unfortunate. Kind of
Anyway, I don't know if I'll keep playing it. I'm definitely going to return it to Redbox.
cool. Well, we'll see what happens. Before we switch gears to the other new game I want to play, I want to check in
Which
with.
Metal Gears?
Did I say that?
No, you just said Gears.
Oh, thank God.
Gears.
Whew. Before we switch to the other new game we're going to talk about, I want to bring it over Krispy for a second.
For a second,
Well, you know what I mean. I want to hear. It's been a
talk
while.
about Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. Damn, Krispy, look at
Okay.
you. Got a. Your hair is up, straight up there.
Your hair's fine.
Sorry. You got a giant cowlick. Anyways, tell us about your time with Shadow of the Colossus. And I know Chris Davis finished it as well. Both of you
Yes.
guys are playing this for the very, very, very first time.
Yes.
What you think?
It's all right.
Okay. What? Crispy?
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I want to talk at length about Agro.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about Agro because I don't know how to feel about this. And
Not many people do.
I left the house on my way here with a very strong opinion about Agro.
It was a very
And then
negative opinion, I would assume.
I was just like thinking and rationalizing and logicalizing the whole way here, and I'm more confused than I was. Okay, so right off the bat, Agro is not very easy to control.
No, he's not.
Not very intuitive, not very fun to control.
I mean, there's no such thing as a good horse in a video game. There never has been.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
They've only slowly gotten better.
Red
Horses
Dead?
at Red Dead are pretty damn good.
The
I
very
think
fact that in Red Dead you can hold a button and the horse just stays on the trail, I think is
You can do that in this game.
Yeah.
Really? What
Yeah.
trail is it sticking to?
I mean,
Like going across the bridges?
I was noticing because okay, hang on.
I will just say the more you touch the analog stick, the worse it is.
No, because like when I wasn't touching the analog stick, he would just like stop. He would just like not. He would or like he'd veer off or something. Like I don't know. It's really weird.
Or like when you're going through the
It is
forest.
really really weird. And I did some reading online, like on the forums,
Yeah.
where the gamers hang out, talking about aggro. And this is a topic of discussion for
No,
this
it
game.
definitely
Yeah, it has been
This
since
is
the
something
game
that people
came out.
talk about. Yeah, and this
This-
is something
this-
that people have opinions about, and it basically boils down.
Crispy, they've had opinions since 2005 about this.
For sure. And it basically boils down to, on one side you have people who are like, I don't think aggro is very fun to control, and then the other side is like, aggro is my best friend, I'll fucking kill you, I hate you, please die, That's kind of how the argument has boiled down everywhere I've seen it.
Sure.
I'm only 7 colossi into this experience. However, I do know some details about things that happened later. I don't know what this game is 13 years old.
You can't
Right?
spoil
We're
this
not
game.
spoiling anything.
No, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right. Chris Davis doesn't?
No, he
He does.
finished
He beat
it.
the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
beat
do?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So aggro dies, right? Later in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
Does
no.
he not? Does he not?
No.
He falls off a cliff or something. Okay, I don't care is what I'm saying.
He does
Just-
not die.
Let's just talk about it for a second.
He falls off a fucking cliff.
We need to talk about it. All right? Yeah, he falls off a cliff, but he doesn't die. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The old bait and switch.
Okay, but why?
Why what?
Why does he not die?
Right.
It wasn't
does
as
he
far
know
as you thought.
I mean, he falls into a river,
Like he literally just falls into a river and then that's it. Right?
but it's
Yeah.
a very long drop.
And then later on, he limps back.
He's
up to
limping.
you.
He comes limping back into the temple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that all is a very planned out, constructed moment. Like that's a thing,
Correct.
right? That's supposed to be a thing for the player. You're supposed to see Agro fall off this cliff and then have like a visceral emotional response to that.
I did when it happened.
And then when he comes back, you're supposed to feel
It's relief.
Relief,
Correct.
right? Okay, so that is a thing.
Please don't unplug my computer.
That right there, I mean, that is something that comes up a lot when people are having conversations about how unwieldy the horse is to control as a game mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that comes up because that is something that people use as a defense against, hey, this part of the game sucks, you know?
Also,
I didn't... What?
I was just going to say, like, you have, other than just riding aggro until, like, he falls off that cliff, you have very little, like, interaction with him. Like, you don't give him attention, you don't feed him, you don't do anything with him. You just fucking ride him and...
No, okay.
Like,
hang on.
you can't establish an emotional
Let
connection
me,
with him.
stop. I've got, like, this whole thing. Like,
Okay.
I've got a
Alright,
whole
do it.
thing
Okay.
I just want to get.
Do your
Krispy.
thing.
Okay, so another common defense for the way aggro is a quote from the game's creator, right?
Fumito Ueda.
Ueda, yeah. And he said specifically that they made aggro the way he is because they wanted him to feel alive. They wanted him to feel like a real animal. He wasn't supposed to be just like a motorcycle.
He's kind of unruly. Holy
Right.
shit.
He wasn't this wasn't like a motorcycle that you hop on and then like it takes you to where you're gonna go and that's it, right?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me
Okay.
because I just like, you know, I'm trying to think about this like, okay, just playing this whole game, what would be different if aggro was a motorcycle? Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Except the game might go quicker because it's easier to get where you're going.
Uh-huh.
And that moment or set of moments that you're supposed to have towards the end of the game would have been diminished.
It would have fallen
right.
flat.
It would have been like, oh, aggro dropped, or I mean, it would have been like, oh, the wanderer dropped his sword and then he found it later. Like, okay, oh, he dropped his sword. It's so iconic.
It ceases to be a character or
it's a thing. Like, you don't really care, right? It's not something that's dying. It's not something that's going away. He can get a new fucking sword, right?
It's like, oh, I found my tool again.
So the important thing there is that you have to do something with the horse to form an emotional connection with the player before that happens.
And
right?
that emotional-
So you have literally an infinite number of ways to do that. Okay? There's a number of different ways that you can go about trying to make aggro a presence in the game, right? A lot of the more conventional methods for doing something like that, though, would be very narrative based, would be very like showing, would be very like, oh, what if we just had a bunch of cutscenes that was the Wanderer walking around with aggro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't do that because they wanted to express that mechanically. They wanted to express that with actual in-game mechanics. With they wanted to tell a story with how you interact with the game and the world, right?
Correct.
So that's what they do. That makes sense to me. It all turns into a giant benefit cost analysis from that point, though, because you've got what is essentially, I mean, like, what are we saying? Like 5 hours, maybe,
To finish the game?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know
First
what,
time, way more than
if
that.
you don't know what if you've never done
Okay.
it before, it'll probably take you closer to 10. I think.
Okay, let's say
No, I did
let's
about
assume
6.
let's just I know this is a game that people play over and over again, but let's just assume that everybody just plays it once. Okay,
Sure.
First playthrough, you're talking 10 hours,
I'd say 8 to 10.
8 to 10
somewhere.
hours. Okay,
On average.
So you've got 8 to 10 hours of, and you watch this footage of me trying to go where I'm going. It's
I
fucking,
can I'm picturing
it's fucking
Krispy screaming
painful.
at his
I'm
television.
not screaming, but like it does get kind of painful, and there are large chunks of this where I just hop off the horse and run away from him because I don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
And you're also trying to control the camera
Right,
simultaneously.
and it's just like I'm fighting two different things that don't want to cooperate. Like it's really weird. So I've got 8 to 10 hours of that to basically buy myself the necessary emotional attachment that I need later on to really enjoy that moment. You know what I'm saying?
I do want to kind of read off Green Goddamn's comment because I think it's pretty relevant too, because you're talking about building a connection with the horse. And it's the panic in Wander's voice as he shouts Agro's name if you get unhorsed during a boss fight, which gives him like a real presence and kind of gives you that sense of like reliance on the character. Like it communicates that sense of connection, I think.
Sure.
Which is, I think, is a good point.
I mean, I think I get where where Ueda was coming from with making Agro the way he is, because you literally can't ignore the horse as he is now. You can't ignore that it's a thing. You know, if it was a motorcycle, it wouldn't have been even something I'd even. You know, it wouldn't have been in the top 10 things I was thinking about at any given moment.
I will tell you without spoiling anything, there is at least one moment there is one other moment where I think you use the horse in a way that you haven't really used him in any other scenario in this game. Yeah, which I think is a big deal. I think that goes along.
Say two.
That's why I said at least one. I couldn't. I'm doing a mental checklist in my head, but there's one big moment where you use the horse in a way that's kind of new, which I think also does a lot of that legwork trying to build your reliance and your connection and relationship with Agro.
Sure.
I mean,
and I, like my whole shift here was basically when I left the house, I thought I understand what they're trying to do with the horse. I don't think it's worth what it ends up costing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a failure of design.
And shift is.
I think it was an inspired idea that did not work out.
Okay.
You know what? I could use that exact same phrase in reference to The Last Guardian.
Okay, hang on. That's part of this.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Oh, he's right. He's got a whole thing.
on his way.
Whole thing.
So, as I started thinking about it, and what it comes down to is basically this choice that Ueda had in either presenting the horse in a way that is divorced from its presence as a mechanic in the game, i.e. cutscenes, like you're talking about how the Wanderer interacts with the horse, that kind of thing, versus the horse's actual in-game mechanics being something that you have to like actively deal with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He obviously decided to go with the latter. He decided to tell his story through mechanics rather than just saying it. You know what I'm saying? And that is, I think in most cases that is the right decision. I think in most cases that is the good thing to do. I think that is very considerate of the medium as an art form. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I still don't know if the emotional payoff that he's like doing all of this work to get to is necessarily worth the player frustration on a moment-to-moment basis. Okay? And the only reason why I say that is because the story isn't really about Agro. It's not about the Wanderer and the Wanderer and the horse's relationship. Agro is a player in this whole thing, but if you had to strip Shadow of Colossus down thematically to its core elements, to like its most basic form, the horse would go. The horse would be gone.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this is
is
not his story. There's a lot of consideration and there's a lot of concessions made for something that is not necessarily essential to the basic theme of the story. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's why I think it's kind of a mistake. But that's also why I can kind of see the argument being made in a more positive way for The Last Guardian. Trico in The Last Guardian is like your main focus in that game. What's the character in that game called? The kid. I don't know.
I don't even know.
The kid and his relationship.
We'll call him the Wanderer.
The kid and his relationship to Trico, his interaction with Trico is the whole fucking point of The Last Guardian. So making Trico this like weird, obtuse, nigh uncontrollable thing makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
When you apply that argument to Agro, I think the main argument against that is that this, like, the horse doesn't have to be in this game.
I mean, the honestly, when you think about it, the only way he justifies his existence in this game is the fact that you literally couldn't get around this world without him.
Mm-hmm. But that's
And
only,
they didn't
that's
wanna
only a function of the world design.
I know, and
They made the world the way it is so that you need a horse to get around because it's fucking huge. I mean, it's pretty big. I'm surprised how big the game is, actually.
yeah, it's quite large.
And it's fucking gorgeous. I love this. I mean, Agro is great. I understand, but the problem is you can't have this discussion with people who've played Shadow of the Colossus because everyone who's going to come to Agro's defense is coming from a very emotional position.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It makes it very difficult. I mean, like Mike is here saying Agro is badass. I mean, but like, is he? Is he actually? Or
No.
I mean, is this based on an emotional experience you had? That emotional experience is absolutely 100% valid and was in fact a big consideration in the player experience of this game. Like that was a success on their part, I suppose.
Yeah.
That people can put up with this for 8 to 10 hours and then come away from it feeling like, yeah, man, that was worth it.
I mean, to be honest though, like it's when you reach a Colossus and you sort of fight that it kind of just like makes you forgive any frustrations you may have had with Agro.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
But for the majority
the best decision they could have made is not making you have to like ride back to the temple yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fact
Yeah.
that you start from the temple, you branch out, you find the Colossus, you kill it, and then it just like takes you back there automatically is the only saving grace I think of that whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, I think if you were doing more in the game, in the world, other than just going from boss fight to boss fight, this may not have been. It may not have seemed as big of a deal, especially to a lot of people. I think because really between boss fights, the only thing you have the only thing you do is ride the horse.
Well, in here, let me address this as well. Dangle Chunbao, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but Chunbao says you couldn't possibly tackle some of the Colossi without Agro. Yeah, that's because that's how they made those Colossi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't. That's not an argument for anything. Everything in this game is made up. So how you do the things you do in this game is completely made up with consideration for every element of this game as a game. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have just as easily designed something else that was equally as engaging that didn't require this horse to interact with. You know what I'm saying? That's not really like much of an argument to me. The reason why I was so against Agro is because I think about so, like, I'm a big fan of Alfred Hitchcock, okay? Alfred Hitchcock was a very, very, very adept filmmaker, and he had a lot of great adages and bits of wisdom about film as an art form, and I think a lot of them apply to video games as well. I think a lot of them apply to a lot of art form. And one of my favorites is he used to say that film needs to be stronger than reason. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like a film needs to make thematic sense. It needs to have a satisfying emotional arc, but it needs to do that before it considers being like 100% realistic and logical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that striving to make the horse hyper realistic for whatever reason is a little bit of a misstep, because if it's interfering with people's enjoyment of the game, if it's interfering with my ability to play the game, if it makes me only want to like kill 2 Colossi at a time and then walk away from the game for 4 days,
Yeah.
then, you know, that's a failure. That's not good. That's a problem. I'm not saying that that is necessarily representative of how I feel about the game. I mean, when I have had time to dig into it, I've been absolutely engrossed by the experience. But like, I'm moving through these wonderful areas. Like this world is fucking gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's such an interesting place to look at. Like it's very well designed.
The only pained part of this
I'm
world design is that it's so desolate.
Well, I mean, even
But that's part of the point, too.
is
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah, I
even
agree.
that's part of the place's fucking beauty. But like, I don't want to have to pick between enjoying the vistas I'm traveling through and thinking and dealing with the horse. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes that's kind of what's happening. And
I don't know.
I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to the situation.
So
To be clear,
I've been replaying this game, and I have not been having control issues with Agro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not.
I had a few, nothing
maybe
crazy.
I don't know.
but-
Maybe it's something if you've played the game before, like you just kind of know what you're getting into.
But
like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to say you're playing it wrong. I don't want to say that, and I don't think that's the case. But I think the problem is this, and I don't know if it's just of its time, but at the time, I think this is probably one of the best controlling horses in games, and I think they tried to make it realistic, yes, but I also think that it does a lot more than people give it credit for. Like, the horse is actually very good at navigating things, but if you try to overcorrect it, then it gets really
that's
fucky.
that's the problem.
I think when you try and take hyper control over where it's
Then it starts getting fucky. I think if you honestly, if you barely touch, like I said, in my experience, and we can maybe do a test after the podcast just to see, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but it seems like when you're barely touching the like control and you're just kind of, hey, let him go in this direction, he's very good at navigating through areas on his own.
yeah.
My problem was I can't even really tell you what's wrong with Agro because I don't think he behaves consistently. I think sometimes what you're saying is correct, and then I think other times, like, I have to take too much control of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a hard time putting my finger on it.
I mean, honestly, because like building off what Nolan just said, a lot of it for me, the frustration happened for me mostly in times where I was trying to navigate something like a forest, where I'm trying to like go in and out of trees. But anytime I was out in like an open field, it was pretty, solid.
There are some sections of the terrain in which it gets very hilly, and Agro can't jump for shit when he's going towards some of that terrain.
Yeah.
Like,
I
he'll
mean,
just rear up.
there
and
is a
just
there is a
fucking
trophy
stop.
in this game for having him do jumps. I didn't really do any of them because, like I said, I kind of like what Krispy said. I don't want to. I want to spend as little amount of time on the horse as humanly possible. Not necessarily because I'm not enjoying it, but because the draw of the game is really the Colossus. However, I will say this: I think on one hand, they made the choice to make the horse hyper realistic. Which is kind of a disservice when you realize that like it in some cases detracts from the enjoyment. But at the same time, if they made it more like a tool, more like a motorcycle, like you said, or something like that, it would have stood out like a sore thumb. In a world that is super detailed and super beautiful, I think like having a horse that moves and controls too perfectly almost would have been distracting in a different way.
I disagree. I think only because we're talking about this, you think it would be. But
I
think
mean,
if the possibility of this horse having been like realistic had never even been,
because I'm thinking about horses in like Breath of the Wild, which are very much kind of like I think control more like a motorcycle.
Let me hang on before this gets out of control because I can already fucking see it. I'm not saying that I think Agro's bad. I'm not saying that I think the game is poorer for his presence. I'm not saying that I don't understand why they would choose to do this or that it wasn't worth it. I'm just saying this is a really weird, very specific design decision that, I don't think necessarily has a quote-unquote right answer one way or the other. And I also don't think, I think it's important to maintain perspective that if a game is good and there are things about that game that you like, the things you like about that game don't necessarily contribute to making that game objectively good. You know what I'm saying? We kind of just take it all as like a big package. Like we kind of just say like, well, the game is good, so obviously every decision they made was the right decision.
I don't think most of us take games that way.
No, I'm not saying people in this room. I'm saying like a lot of the conversations I've seen around this game particularly kind of like have that tone about them of like, well, we know the game is good, so taking issue with this particular aspect of the game is obviously wrong because the game is good.
But also not uncommon.
Not uncommon.
Yeah.
Not uncommon. I'm not, again, like this, like, I don't know, this, I feel like people are like kind of tensing up
When you talk about
talking about anything that is.
I mean, that's why it has been a conversation that's been happening.
There's definitely a crowd out there who, like, if you're talking about this game and you're not saying something absolutely glowing, they are getting the knives out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is definitely one of those games. Yes, for sure. And I definitely don't blame you. Before we move on, though, I do want to ask you what your experience has been like so far with the Colossi themselves. How's that been going?
Oh, that's been great. I mean, that has been a hell of a lot of fun.
So you're
this one I had a bit of a time with, and I didn't
There's a handful of colossi in this game that take a while to figure out.
Again, I don't think this was a poorly designed Colossus or anything. I was just personally relieved to be done with.
For those not watching, the one he's talking about is the one that's swimming underwater.
It's number 7. It's a giant water snake with like lightning rods.
Honestly, this is probably one of my least favorite in the whole game.
This one kind of sucks, like, because he has these like. Oh, like you'll see. I don't know if we'll get there in the footage.
And I don't think the swimming in this game is fantastic.
His sequence, his sequence of animations when you're clung, like it. First of all, it takes me forever to figure out how to even like get onto him, and then when I do figure it out, it takes me a while to even like finish him off. And there's a part later in the video. I don't think we're gonna get to it, but I am at his weak spot. I've like stabbed him 4 or 5 times, and he's like really got one more good stab to go, and I wind up for the stab, and then I activate photo mode because I've been doing that a lot in this game because the photo mode is actually really great. And it was a really cool shot because he's like coming out of the water, and the water's on his head, like with his sword raised over his head, and it's like about to deliver the killing blow. And I was like, oh, that's a really fucking cool picture. I exited photo mode, still like grabbing onto it, and I missed my chance to do the stab. But I still had plenty of stamina gauge, right?
Yeah.
But then he goes into the sequence where like he's undulating in and out of the water so fast that I can't possibly set up another stab, and then he goes way down deep, so far down that like my gauge can't possibly hold on.
Yeah.
And then I get knocked off, and then I have to like do the whole fucking thing over again. And
this one is definitely a pain for sure. Although I ended up watching you were streaming with Carlos.
Yeah.
I ended up watching your entire stream. I think of the 5th Colossus, the first flying one.
Yeah, and that one is really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
but like watching you like try and figure it out and everything was cool. And that moment when it hit you when you realize how you have to get on
right.
it. Oh my god!
And every single one of these has a moment like that.
Yeah. No,
this one I would say was a little different only because like when I had like quote unquote figured it out, I was kind of like
there's a lot of waiting.
I was like, that can't be it, right? I just gotta wait.
And I think that's why a lot of the times this game takes so much longer the first time you play it.
Yeah,
it's just because you don't know what the fuck to do.
It's a lot of experimentation.
Yeah, and
some of them,
it's kind of yeah, like you say, it's waiting, it's watching and waiting, kind of analyzing how they're moving and stuff like that, and then like kind of like, and then it clicks, and you're like, oh, I see what I got to do.
And also,
have you turned off the hints?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have any hints on. Okay.
Well, either way, the hints take.
So I've figured them all out on my own, no hints, nobody telling me, not looking them up or anything. And that's kind of funny too because like there are some where like I'm trying to get like real puzzly with it.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like,
you're overthinking it.
I bet I gotta like stand here and do this, and he knocks this over, and then this, and it's like literally not. It's just like go stand over here and wait for a minute, and then everything will be okay. The number 6 before this is the humanoid one with the big beard.
Yeah.
And like it's literally just about like getting in that alcove until he looks for you and then just like grabbing onto his beard.
Yep.
Like
okay. Is that how you did that? I didn't.
Yeah.
Dude,
how the fuck else do you do that?
Oh, I didn't
There's
do it that
nothing
way.
else to grab onto.
Yeah.
I jumped onto his head from somewhere up high.
You can climb up that alcove. There's a way you can get up to the higher ones.
I remember because I never climbed his beard.
Oh, see, like,
but that's
cool.
That
was the whole point of him having the beard, though, right?
I know, so I feel like I missed out on something magical.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was cool though. Like,
I just did a death-defying leap onto his top of his head.
Wow.
Dude, number 15 took me a while to figure out.
Yeah, number 15 is an interesting
My favorite one. Wait, number 15.
That's the one in the big corridor, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That took me a while too. My favorite one's number 13, I think. But anyways, I don't want to spoil it for Krispy. Obviously, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's good conversation to have one way or another about Agro too.
Sure.
This is just one of those games. There's a kind of a lot to.
Again, I think before we walk away and everyone's like, "Oh, Chris hates the fucking horse." Let me tell you something. I think he had a decision to make. Ueda had a decision to make about framing the horse in a certain way with the player, about reminding you that it is a character and that it is a thing that is here with the wanderer on his journey. And he could have either done it in a very hands-off way, or he could have done it in a very hands-on way by fucking with the mechanics of the game. He decided he wanted to tell his story with mechanics, and I think that is a wonderful, inspired, great decision that I wish more developers would allow themselves to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I still just think that like minute to minute with that horse though, like sometimes it's kind of frustrating.
For sure.
But I absolutely respect the artistic decision to relate aggro to us through game mechanics rather than just telling us or showing us something.
For sure.
So there's that.
Cool.
Well, thank you, Crispy. How are we doing on time?
We should take a break.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We have one more new game to talk about. We're going to talk about Hunt Showdown, which is a new game from Crytek, which I think just entered early access.
Early access today.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. Chris and Nolan got some hands-on time with that, so we'll talk about that when we get back. And then there's some news to talk about, and of course we'll answer all sorts of questions from our supporters on Patreon. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break. Back to the show, guys. I don't know what's going on, but I saw Black Panther last weekend.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
But I've watched like 5 or 6 movies at this point, which all should have had the Avengers trailer at the front of those movies. I have not seen a single.
What, Infinity War?
Yeah,
because they don't need to, nor should they.
no, that's great
That
because
whole
I don't want to
movie.
have to walk out of the theater.
Oh, shit.
But like me and Robin just keep bracing. Like, is this it? Is this it?
Is it
Never
happening?
happens.
Yeah.
Never fucking happens. I hope. Okay. Hi, Butters.
He loves his Kong.
All right. So, anyways, let's get right to it. We still have a couple games to talk about before we get into the news.
I know, Jesus.
So, let's get the big one out of the way. We haven't talked yet about the other new game, Hunt.
Subnautica.
Hunt
No.
Showdown. That game that I did not go see at E3, but maybe I should have.
You missed out.
Don't get me wrong. I want to play this. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the footage that y'all have recorded for this discussion.
Sure.
Because the game looks pretty cool.
So Hunt is exactly what the game is. It's a game where you're hunting. Oh, he's going to go for his tail.
Yes.
But anyway, so...
Such a majestic creature.
Yeah, he is. Anyway, Hunt. Let's talk about Hunt.
We'll try.
So
It's fucking gorgeous, by the way.
It is a pretty good looking game, and honestly, this footage doesn't do it justice because I was recording with a different kind of tool, and I didn't have the settings right. It looks even better in game.
Oh,
But
pretty.
so you can play it either solo or in teams. I've only ever played it with teams, myself and there's Chris Davis. He's the other player. So you're assigned. You have to hunt something. As of right now, you have the choice of either there's a spider or a butcher. And I say butcher, it's like a giant man. And I say spider, it's like a giant spider.
Yeah.
So you're essentially like you're playing. It's cooperative based hunting, but you're hunting like monsters.
So it's the year 1895. You're in
it's
a Louisiana swamp,
Like Monster.
and you are a bounty hunter. Or you hire a bounty hunter to go hunt down these demons that have escaped from hell.
Gotcha. So this is the Pope put you up to this.
Yes,
Basically.
pretty much. But anyway, but here's the catch. You're not the only one hunting. There are other hunters.
The hunter.
Like
is
AI
also-
controlled hunters.
No,
No,
people.
players.
Oh.
Yes. And if every once in a while on the footage you see me maybe turn a different direction, it's because I hear a gunshot. And I'm trying to get my bearings to figure out where that gunshot is, because there's someone else.
So it's a set of 5 teams, or of 2 players each.
So there's 10 people on the map.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know about that element.
Yeah,
I thought this was pure.
That makes it intense.
Yeah.
I thought this was purely like a cooperative multiplayer.
Nope.
No. And this is a
Damn.
1 kilometer square map.
It's pretty big.
Damn.
And so you'll see me crouched for most of it because you're trying to stay quiet. You don't want to alert too many zombies.
Is this when you're? Is there music or is this like ambient sound? pretty
Ambient
much?
sound.
Ambient
Okay.
sound.
That's what I was hoping you would
Sound
say.
is extremely fucking important. If you look
Yeah.
in front of me, here's a trap. There are these bottles hanging from chains and stuff, and I hit them, it will make noise. If there's another person around or even a zombie, they might be attracted to that.
Yeah.
And so you're spending a lot of time just paying attention to what's going on around you. So here's a clue. So you'll notice the map just got grayed out. So we're hunting a creature. I just found a clue which narrows down where that creature is.
Gotcha.
And if you see in the top left, there's actually 2 creatures we're hunting. This is literally when we capture this footage, that was the day they added this new mode, and it gives you the ability to hunt both creatures instead of just one. And so I found one clue for the butcher, it looks like.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you find 3 clues, it will tell you almost exactly where they are on the map. You'll pretty much know where you need to go to hunt them.
Are the clues just like you found a clue, or is there actually like
It's
contextual
you found a clue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You found a clue.
But does that feel like a stand-in, or do you think they're actually going to add some kind of like actual like?
No, this is the way it's set to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But you'll notice I'm sneaking. There's 2 creatures right there. You can't really see them. There are these armored guys. They're very tough.
They look like crab people.
Kind of. I want to avoid him. And if you look over here, there's even a bigger dude. It's kind of hard to see him.
Oh, I see him.
He's off in the distance, but I stay away from him.
He's covered in leeches and will drop him on the ground. Giant leeches.
Yeah.
I hate leeches.
So anyway, we're constantly kind of trying to be a little cautious. You don't want to. There are similar to think of what was that hunting game? Monster versus 4 guys.
Evolve.
Evolve. Think of Evolve. There are patches of birds, and if you set them off, birds flap in the air. You know exactly there's a person over there. Zombies don't set off birds.
There's lots of little indicators.
Can the monster you're hunting?
No, the monster you're hunting will always be like in a building.
Yeah.
They stay in there. That's where they're at.
It minds its own business.
Yes,
But is it in a? But I'm assuming when you, it doesn't always appear in the same place on the map.
It's
Okay.
random.
It's random every time.
And so also there are packs of dogs. There are some dogs in kennels that, if you get too close to them, they'll start barking. Lots of things that make noise and make sound and will alert other players in the world that, hey, there's someone over there.
There's like an injured horse, or there's...
Oh, yeah, you'll come across a horse that's laying down. As soon as you get close to it, it starts bucking and stuff. Yeah, you have to be very cautious in this game about letting other people know where you are because they can kill you.
The sound design is so important.
Good.
Think of like PUBG, where you're playing a match and all of a sudden you come across a person and you die. It can happen pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to be a little more cautious. But unlike PUBG, where nothing happens, you maybe fight someone and then you die. In this, you're constantly doing things. Even you saw me punch a zombie earlier. Even if I die, I still get credit. I still get some points. I killed a zombie.
Like you don't loot in this game. The only looting you do is like to get more ammo and to maybe heal yourself if you can.
Correct. So we're constantly on the hunt for this creature. Spoiler alert! Because I don't think we're gonna finish this match. We actually don't find all the clues for this first one. What happens is 2 other players actually were killing it, and so as soon as you kill the creature you were hunting, you have to banish its body.
You send it
back to hell.
Send it back to
Yeah.
hell. So when that process happens, all the other players know that someone is banishing that body, and it will show on the map where it's happening.
So is one person responsible for banishing the demon?
You just have to start it.
And then the other people are defending that one person?
It's its own sequence, yeah.
The 2 people on the team.
Gotcha.
And so you don't necessarily need to defend that person, but as soon as the banishment has been completed, you pick up what's it called?
Like the bounty.
The bounty, I guess. You like essentially just take something off the banished creature, and now you have that bounty, and you need to escape the map alive.
And people want to kill you and take it.
Then, as soon as that happens, you'll notice every once in a while the screen goes dark, and it's like you can see like hints of light. What's that mode called, Chris Davis?
I call it dark vision.
Dark vision, whatever. And when you use it, it will show you where clues are on the map, and if someone's banished a creature, it will show you almost, not exactly, but fairly close to where they are.
Yeah, like lightning strikes.
So then, no, sir. No.
But
So then you're on the hunt to get them. And like I said, I don't think we're going to finish this mission because it's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is the 2 guys, another team banishes the creature, and so like, oh, let's jump them.
No.
Because they're probably going to exit the map. And so we know where the closest exit to them, so we figure they're going to just exit. But they don't. Stop. Hey. Sit. Oh, sorry. Hold on. He shouldn't be doing what he's doing, Crispy. I don't want to train him that that's a good thing to do. He shouldn't be putting his mouth on people.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But I like it.
I know you do, but I need to teach him that that's not okay. Anyway, so what happens is they kill it and we try and jump them. Turns out they don't leave the map. They go for the other creature. So we're like, oh, fuck. So we start hightailing it, trying to catch up to them. We catch up to them while they're fighting the other creature. One of them, I think, dies to it because the spider is fucking like 10 feet tall. It's fast as fuck. Yeah. And it's hard. These creatures are not exactly easy to kill.
Not to mention, it's fucking terrifying.
So I sneak up on one of the guys while he's fighting it, and I shoot him in the back and kill him. And so then I finish off the creature.
That's how rude, Nolan. How rude.
We finish off the creature. We get both bounties, and then Chris and I escape the map.
Nice.
And to great avail. And so what happens when you escape a map? You get a bunch of points that go into like leveling up and then money. You get some money. And so, you, like Chris was saying, you have hunters, and you actually recruit hunters. So you aren't really that hunter kind of. It's weird. But you pay money to recruit hunters. They have different stats. They're randomized, and then they'll level up. If the hunter dies, they're gone. You don't get that hunter back. Mm-hmm. So I have one hunter that I've leveled up to like level 24, and I almost don't want to bring him.
24?
Yeah. Chris and I have been doing pretty good.
Nope.
I almost don't want to bring him in the match because if he dies, he's gone. Which sucks because I got a hunter named Harry Johnson, and he died in his first match.
Oh, Harry Johnson died?
Yeah.
How unfortunate.
But yeah. Chris Davis, anything else to add?
Dude, the visual design and like the atmosphere of this game is so fucking good.
It looks really cool.
The creature design is great.
I think I remember watching someone fight the spider, or I think when they released a gameplay video of someone fighting the spider, and it was fucking gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it just dashes around the map, on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor. It just it's the scariest thing in this game, in my opinion. Because it has this screeching scream. Oh my god, when you light things on fire in this game, just the screams are like, they're not canned. They're like fresh for this game. And they are horrifying.
They're pretty intense.
So I remember watching footage of someone fighting the spider, and I think it was at night. Is there like a day-night cycle?
There's a daytime and a nighttime map.
Yeah.
You choose before you go in which one you want to do.
Gotcha.
Is it the same map?
It's the same map.
And there's just the one right now?
Correct. There's only one map at the moment.
Just the two monsters?
Yes.
For now.
But they're both active at the same time?
In this version. So you can either do one or the other.
So when you go to select a mission, you get 4 contracts to choose from. 2 will be day, 2 will be night, and they'll have different bounties. So the spider or the butcher or both.
I'm wondering how many monsters are ultimately end up being in the game.
They're going to be adding more, I guarantee.
Yeah.
It.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's not just 2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Does that mean that like later on, once they have more monsters, like they'll have like a mission where there'll be like, I don't know, like 5 of them active on the map at
I don't know if they'll go that intense.
I think they might go for 3 because in the E3 presentation they were talking about. They said they wanted to have a primary bounty, but they also wanted to have a couple secondary bounties.
Yeah, but like, is there an active ecosystem around these monsters? Do they run into each other and like start fighting?
No, they stay in a place.
This is inferior to Monster Hunter World, is what you're saying.
Yes.
This was.
I knew you were going there the moment you started asking that question.
JK.
Did he lose the Kong?
This looks actually really
It's pretty
cool.
dope. All of the weapons are very different from each other. The way they act, you have to be very certain.
Good feedback?
Yeah, you good feedback, whether it be like a rifle or a shotgun or like a
chain pistol.
Are they
Dude, the chain pistol is fucking intense. It sucks because Harry Johnson had it and he died. So
what do you mean
lost
chain pistol?
So it's a pistol, but it's like chain fed, like a machine gun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are the weapons or character specific?
No, they're randomized. So hold on, they're randomized, and like I said, when you finish a match, you get money, and the more you level up, you'll unlock new weapons, items, whatever from the shop that you can buy.
There's 2 leveling systems to the game. There's the leveling system for the hunter, in which you can upgrade and buy stuff for their health and traits and skills, and then there's your bloodline ranking, which is your overall rank, in which that allows you access to items and weapons and new stuff.
So like I'm looking at the art over here, and we've got like the dude with the trench coat and the hat, and then like the person with the crossbow.
The promo art looks very Left 4 Dead.
It actually reminds me a lot of Hunter the Reckoning.
It's like a combination because like the way they have the 4 characters.
Are those like? I mean, are the, what? I'm still just like trying to wrap my head around the characters. Are they all like procedurally generated? Or are they like random characters?
They're randomly generated.
Not like hero characters.
Not hero
characters.
Design.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Everything's random.
So like, how many different permutations of like characters have you guys seen?
So mathematically, they said there's like 44 different combinations at the moment.
Okay.
Visually, from the alpha we were playing, which ended literally last night.
Yeah.
I think there was maybe like 5 or 6 different character models, really. But again, that was like a test build that they were doing.
You guys said they just put this up on
Yeah,
Steam,
like
right?
they
Early
ended
access today.
like
they
this
ended
morning.
the beta, or is it alpha? They ended the alpha and then put it on early access.
Is it? I mean, it's still in the exact same state as you.
Oh,
guys were
yeah.
playing
I mean,
last
they-
night.
I'm fairly certain it's
Yeah.
the same state.
So
So don't get me wrong. There's a lot of work to be done here.
Sure.
This is to just explain that when Chris and I were trying to capture this footage yesterday, they had just updated the game and it made it impossible for us to duel the map. Every time I joined his game or he joined mine, as soon as one of us tried to start it, we got an error message. The only reason we were able to capture footage is because we both chose the same region and the same contract. And then we clicked random, and it didn't work. And we clicked random, and it didn't work.
that is
and
probably
the third
impossible.
try it worked.
That is probably impossible now that it's on early
Correct.
access.
I think the only reason we ended up happening is because we were in alpha.
Yeah.
Here's an
Yeah.
example of the horse. When I get close to it, he starts freaking out and makes noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So I mean, how? Like,
my question is it? So I've seen Chris Davis mention this before, and I think Nolan even said PUBG. He referenced PUBG. Is this gonna be the kind of game where it's like PUBG where there's like
that's
one
exactly
map?
what I was gonna. Oh no. That's
And
not-
like there's one map, and they have that like this one map, and that's kind of it
So no, they've
for a while.
well, I mean, for early access, they've only got the one map right now. They have specifically said there will be new maps as they continue development.
And also-
I don't expect it for a while.
Let me also say this map's huge. We've
Yeah.
played like
Yeah.
5 or 6 matches, and
you said it's a square kilometer.
yes, and
Yes.
there's only been a couple of times where I've been to the same place twice.
Yeah.
And even though you do go to them sometimes multiple times, you're coming at them from different angles. And unlike like an exploration, like an adventure game, you're not staying in one place for too long.
Right.
Like you don't get to let me walk around this place and admire the scenery. No, like you usually get in and get out.
And you're
Yeah.
you're communicating with your partners with voice chat, or
So there's in-game voice chat, which is localized.
Yeah.
Which we have turned off because then enemy can hear.
That's
you
what I was
talking.
gonna- I was gonna
and
ask
we've
you.
actually we end up getting the jump on some guys because they're like, oh, we see some guys over there, let's get them, blah blah blah, and like we heard them, but we had the in-game off and we were talking via Discord.
Ah, you fucking cheaters! You fucking cheaters!
Bam, bam, bam. Dude,
But yeah,
that's-
oh man, that one match we were
Yeah.
it,
it's
it
not
was
cheating,
we were
it's
going
just being
against the
ahead of the
butcher,
curve.
Yeah.
and it had just like all the 100 has finally figured out like where the butcher was, so everyone in the map converged on it, and they had just been wiping the entire map, just killing everybody, and they eventually killed Nolan.
They killed me. Yeah.
But they also killed a guy that was alone, like right next to him. So they thought like they'd killed everybody on the map, but I was still alive. And so I stalked him for a good 5 minutes until they were just the right position, and they killed the butcher. Or well, no, they almost killed the butcher, and then I just fucking took him out for the rooftops, and it
Nice.
felt so fucking good.
Dude,
So,
I'm actually
so like the PvP is a pretty integral part to this whole
Yes.
thing.
yeah, it's
It's a big.
I mean,
it's funny
very-
because like I remember thinking about this game like I said, I had an appointment to play it at E3 and I ended up not making that appointment.
well, I mean, you couldn't play it at E3.
Oh well, I mean, but I had a chance to see it at
Yeah,
E3
to check it out. Yeah.
and I didn't make that appointment. And I remember getting the email about this appointment before E3 last year, and just thinking like, and then talking about because this game used to have a different title. It used to be called Horrors of the Gilded
Horrors
Age.
of the Gilded Age, yeah.
Yeah. And
And it was a very different game.
yeah,
back
at
then,
that point,
too.
I think it was supposed to be like a campaign-driven shooter or something.
it was supposed to be like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, and then at some point it shifted. It became, what you see now, and people kind of contributed this to like not contributed to, but they kind of like this looked like, okay, what's happening to Crytek? Like it seemed like this was going to be a very kind of small project that was probably not going to be very interesting or polished. And at this point though, like it looks like I think like one of the most interesting things Crytek has done.
Yeah, in a
in
good long
a
while.
while.
And it feels like Crytek is putting all their eggs in their basket with this game, because they have no other projects in development right now, and
Yeah.
they've made a bunch of bad financial decisions.
See, that's where a
the
lot of
past
that was
several
a lot
years.
of that was coming from.
like Homefront 2.
Yeah.
That was a whole fucking debacle.
that wasn't just them though. They were working with someone else, weren't they? I don't
Well,
think they did.
I mean, they owned Free Radical, which
Yeah.
was Crytek UK.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they sold that as Dam Buster Studios to Deep Silver.
that project was fucking weird.
But yeah, they've been closing studios left and right. I think they only have like Frankfurt.
So
and
there's
that's
been a lot
about
of
it.
concern about the future of Crytek, and I'm not sure if this is the game that's going to save Crytek, but
I don't know if it saved them, but I think it should do well for them.
it looks way more interesting than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this before tonight. And now
I want to fucking play it.
absolutely.
Are y'all planning on getting the early access or anything? Or
I think I'm going to pick it up, yeah.
I might fucking do it myself and try it. 'cause
My
this looks
only
cool.
fear is just that the fact that it's early.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin myself on the game and then have it finally go like gold or
Like
go,
I'm thinking about my experience with Subnautica, and I'm like, I never played that in early access, and I kind of like am really happy I did that because when I finally did get around to playing it, it was done. It was in a complete state. There was tons of content. There weren't many problems.
You're a coward.
I mean,
I know.
If you play the if you go look at the Steam store page, they say they're going to be doing early access for at least 12 months.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad.
Honestly, I would probably say hold off because don't get me wrong, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
And they're like we've only talked about a small subset of this.
Yeah.
There's other things in
But
the
it's
world that
only gonna
happen
get
there.
better.
Yeah, exactly. There's different types of weapons. There's different types of melee weapons that you can use. There are different like consumable items. Some that like it restore your stamina. Some that restore your health. There are like axes and sledgehammers you can find in the world that you dual wield that you can do massive damage with. The random characters might have traits like Greyhound that lets them run farther, faster. Pack Mule that lets them carry more stuff. Like there's lots of different like abilities and stats. Like this gets intense.
There's a very interesting balance as far as the weapons and everything in the game. And I think they've got a good foundation for improving the game. I don't think
this is definitely going to be on my radar until it comes out for sure. At the very maybe I'll wait a little while, and if they start adding some cool stuff, then I'll try it early access. But this looks dope.
It's definitely worth giving a try, but I don't get burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, just like similar to me, like I played like I want to say 7 hours of Subnautica in early access, and I'm glad I put it down when I did.
Yeah.
That lighting.
This
Yeah,
game.
oh yeah.
Looks,
So that lightning. That's exactly
No, not the lightning. It was like when you
No,
were
I know,
coming
I
through
know.
the woods and like the sunlight
God rays
was
and
in
the God
stuff.
rays,
Like
yeah.
it looks.
It's a Crytek game.
photorealistic,
It does look
like,
fucking beautiful.
Oh, dude, wait until you see it at nighttime.
Oh yeah, nighttime.
Oh
that,
my
like I said, I was
God.
watching a fight with the spider in like a barn, and there were, like the barn was like on fire.
Oh no, yeah. The spider's
like,
weak to fire, so if you can get him, you do massive damage.
It was so
also,
cool.
there's other types of just random zombies in the world. There's one that's like the hive, and if you get too close, they just start throwing bees at you.
Not the bees.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it gets intense. Like there's guys with like fucking flaming torches that will come after you.
Yeah.
It's
they won't just like slumber at you. They will fucking sprint.
And I'll
at
be
you.
honest, I'm a sucker for this setting, like the bayou, like Louisiana. Like I love this
just-
setting.
Trashy horror.
It absolutely is. Oh my God, when you play this game at night and you have like if you have a character that has a set of railroad flares,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and you throw those, like it's a fucking blinding blue light. You've like, oh my fucking God, it is.
Can't wait to play this.
That's cool.
I wish we could just vamp a little bit more so you can actually see the fucking.
Well, I'm
spider.
sure we will talk about this on
You
future
could fast forward
shows.
the footage.
I guess I could. We're almost at it actually.
I would just fast forward like 5 minutes in the footage,
yeah.
just to get to it.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen a monster.
So yeah. This is us inside the.
Damn, it's dark as hell.
It does get fucking dark.
as
So we're
shit.
inside this like tunnel system, and
it's a crematorium.
yeah. And so like I think this is when.
Kill spider.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So watch in a second. The guy's gonna run around the corner, and I'm gonna shoot him in the back. And then
This is the guy?
then the spider's gonna come at me. Yeah, this is the other hunter, and I just bam down him.
Yeah.
And so here's the spider, and it fucking runs really quick. I wish it was a little.
And
bit
it's
brighter.
dark as hell in there,
Yeah.
so like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
This won't do it justice. How fast the spider is! It is ungodly.
Did I mention I hate?
And also,
fucking
it spits
spiders?
like poison gas at you. That you have to if you stay into. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Fuck this. I'm not playing this.
That was almost
Fuck this.
comical.
Holy
Oh
shit.
wait, do you hear it? Like it's
Oh, it's the screams it makes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like oh god.
So it's
yeah.
just called Spider.
yeah, spider.
I mean, they're keeping it simple. What can they say?
And the butcher is like a giant guy with like a pig head on.
And it's just called
Yeah.
Butcher.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be demons.
This is also early. They might just have.
No,
filled
this
in
is
names
killing
yet.
it for me. I hate this.
Anyway, yeah.
This game looks dope as hell. I'm actually.
Oh no, Chris Davis, what happened?
what the hell was that?
I have no idea. Anyways, we can't let it distract us. Thank you guys for playing this. I'm super fucking excited to see more of this game. I'm sure we'll talk about it on a future episode when the game comes out.
Is it not plugged in?
No, it's plugged in.
Oh my God. You gotta switch the footage though. I still have a game to talk about.
I'll get it, Nick.
I'll keep it real short.
A game we've never talked about.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Crispy. I've played over 30 hours of Subnautica at this point. I just want to give a quick update because holy shit, this game is so good. First of all, when did you drop off of Subnautica, Crispy?
When did I drop off?
Yeah, when did you drop off Subnautica?
I didn't.
You're still playing it? You're actively playing it right now?
I booted it up like 2 days ago. I don't have time, Nick. But yes, I'm not consider. I don't consider myself off of Subnautica.
Good. You should definitely go back to it.
But
Few quick updates.
it has been a while.
How deep have you gotten, Nick?
You guys,
The deepest I've gone is 900 meters.
Okay.
Fuck you guys.
I've built my second habitat. This is the second one that I've just started building. This is about at 600 meters deep. Last night, literally the last thing I did was I built the prawn.
Ah, nice.
I have not.
Do you have the drill arms yet?
I have the blueprints for them. I have not built
You
it
haven't
yet.
built
I
it
literally
yet.
I built it, and then the prawn dropped into the water and just started sinking.
Yep,
and I was like, no.
It doesn't tell you that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if this is gonna happen, and then it did. So,
Yeah.
but I haven't really had a chance to fuck around with that yet.
The only thing I would say, one of the things that sucks is you can only have your prawn or sea moth and your cyclops. You can't
Yeah,
have
so
both.
I'm getting a little nervous about how I'm gonna manage because I feel like the sea moth is completely. I couldn't live without it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do when I have to leave this thing behind.
So I mean, there you'd be surprised once you have pretty decent upgrades for yourself and your cyclops going off with the prawn suit, especially if you find somewhere that's, I would say, explore with the sea moth. Leave beacons behind somewhere where you're gonna come back.
I need to make better use of the beacons for sure,
dude. At any point in time, I have like at least three beacons in my cyclops, and then I have some also in my in the storage of my sea moth.
Oh, we have another Kong emergency here.
Yeah, now you see why.
Now
you see why I had like pillows under the couches.
Yeah,
yeah.
Look at that. But yeah, just couple quick updates. I'm really enjoying exploring this world. I've run into it. I've run into a bit of an issue where people keep talking about they've gone to like 2,000 meters or whatever, and I was like, I cannot find a single point that goes below like 500 meters. I feel like I went all over the map. I went in every direction. I had to get a little guidance from people.
The problem is it's hidden. There are like just crevices and hidden
Yeah.
throughout the thing, and if you aren't looking for them, you'll miss them. And it's just a tiny crevice, but if you go in there, holy shit! Like it's this huge underwater cavern that goes.
So
I've
I've found this like underwater river,
Uh-huh.
which is really interesting and weird to say, but it's cool. And that's kind of where I established my new habitat, and I ran into a leviathan down there, and I've been exploring this.
Have
this
you found
cave.
Degassi's?
No, but I think I'm near. I'm near it.
Okay. The base that they set up or whatever.
yeah.
There's some interesting stuff there.
Good. I think I'm getting close to it. I've also discovered the blueprint, which I think is kind of what kind of catapults you towards the end of the game, which is like the launching pad, I guess, where you can build your rocket to escape. I'm sure there's other things I got to do.
I have that one too, but I'm missing a lot of the like requirements for it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the first little bit. The first point on that line towards the end of the game.
Correct.
So. I think I'm going to try and focus on this and try and I know by the time it's said and done, I will probably finish this game without seeing or doing certain things. But at this point, I've spent like 30 hours in it, and I feel like I've kind of I know what to expect now. So at this point, I'm just having fun exploring and trying to move towards getting my escaping the planet. And I've found all kinds of cool shit. I don't want to spoil.
Did you get your fish friend?
I don't know if Nick knows about the fish friend.
Oh, it's like for the aquarium.
Your pet.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where do I get this?
If you have the aquarium, you're on the right track. Maybe put something in there.
It's fucking adorable.
Okay, I'll do that. I don't know. I'm still really, really, really fucking loving this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's something that I haven't really ever dabbled in, and I'm so glad this is. I don't see myself really playing other survival. I'm not gonna go play fucking Rust after this or anything else in this genre. I'm just kind of enjoying this for what it is, and then I'm gonna be done with it.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
that's all. I've gone pretty damn deep, and I've explored a good chunk of the map. I explored the Aurora. I went through that
Nice.
top to bottom.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got I got all the important stuff.
Aurora's
out
the
of that.
big ship?
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find life pod number
deradiated
19?
or irradiated? What? Say it?
Did you find life pod number 19?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Because
don't remember
just north of that, you can find a data pad that allows you to upgrade your.
By the way, fuck those
ships.
fish.
The explosive ones?
Yes, fuck those fish. You can't go into any underground cavern without your fucking sea moth or sea glide thing without being attacked by these stupid exploding
Gotta get away
fish.
quick.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna leave it at that. I probably won't talk about this again on the show, except to say that I finished it because I'm gonna be doing that hopefully pretty soon. Yeah, Big Bad's the fucking suicide bomber fish. They're the fucking worst. The worst. Because like half the time,
you just hear them.
Half the time I run into them, I don't have my sea glide out. And one thing I don't like about this game is
it constantly changes. That,
like there's no way to like. I feel like you don't have any control over what you mapped those 5. You
can choose, but anytime something changes, it might switch the order.
Yeah,
You have to manually
it's so
put
annoying.
them back. Yeah.
So like I'm sitting here trying to like desperately get over to my sea glide, and I can't find it. And by the time I find it, the fucking fish explodes.
What is
and
this?
like at the bottom, you have like
No, I know. What is this motion that you're doing?
the D-pad. So, like,
Because you're playing with a gamepad.
yeah.
You fucking savage.
Of course I'm playing with a controller. What the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking savage.
First person game.
Anyways.
Yeah, anyway.
Subnautica's dope as hell. Thanks to everyone in chat who's been hanging out. This is all I can really stream right now because of my PC issues at the moment. But people have been showing up and helping me and pointing me in the right direction. So thank you to everyone who showed up for that. It's a great fucking game.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the news.
Okay.
We're going to kind of move through these kind of quickly. There's not a whole lot of like crazy new stuff, so let's just start up. What's the first one? You pick one, Chris Davis, and then we'll talk about it.
Is that one right there?
Yeah, that's news. I don't know. Oh shit! No, close that one. We don't have this ready.
Okay.
I was gonna bring that up.
Download the footage.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up before the show, and I didn't. So let's skip that one.
Let's do this one.
There's a new Biomutant trailer out there that I recommend everybody watch, but we're not gonna talk about it because we don't have it in front of us.
Let's do this one.
So Burnout Paradise,
yes,
is getting a remaster, and it's coming out in March. Coming to consoles in March. And
that was a good game.
It is a good game.
Very good game.
It's for someone like me who doesn't even really play like driving games very much. I feel like that's kind of one that manages to remain
you can
appealing.
Do more than just driving it.
Yeah, it remains appealing even if you're not really into that genre. It's been divisive because on one hand, people are super excited to be able to play this game again. Other hand, the people who are like Burnout purists are pissed because they're not doing Burnout 3 Takedown.
Or Revenge.
I forgot about Revenge.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone kind of gravitates towards Takedown though, right?
That was probably... Yeah, I think so. The thing about Revenge was that it was like the first next-gen title for Burnout. So...
That came out, what, 360? And
it was, 360 PS3.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about this. I think it's cool they're making it. I think a lot of people are going to continue to be upset about the lack of Burnout 3, but who knows?
Course.
Maybe maybe we'll eventually get a Burnout 3, but
If there's anything that's the reason for why we don't have that, it's probably because of the soundtrack. There's a lot of licensed music
They
out
can
there.
always change it. They can always use different.
it also
music.
used custom soundtracks too. I think Burnout Paradise did as well, if I remember correctly.
I mean, on the Xbox, yeah.
Also, I will tell you this: I have never played a game in my life and used custom soundtracks. I don't even know. Maybe I'm missing out on something big, but I've never done it.
It's all good. To each his own.
But yeah, it's coming out in March for PS4,
And
Xbox
it comes
One.
with all the DLC they ever released,
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Why
including
wouldn't
like the fucking DeLorean and the bikes and the Ghostbusters.
I do
van.
agree with
Ecto 1?
Ecto 1, sorry.
Van?
Sorry, I don't know why I said van.
Oh
I
my
apologize.
God.
Ugh.
I apologize.
Gross.
I will say,
And the PC version is coming out later.
yeah, that
Doesn't surprise
doesn't
me.
surprise me.
But
I will
difference
say
is that
Brad tweeted about this, and I do agree with him in this point. They made a really odd addition. Like, first of all, I think the cover art for Burnout Paradise has always been great. It's minimalistic, really stylish, and they've added some weird shit to it that makes it less attractive.
I guess I
don't
don't have
know.
to compare it.
It's weird, but whatever. That's not super important in the grand scheme of things. Burnout Paradise Remastered coming out in March. Let's move on to the next one. What else we got? The next one above it. First, we got our first bit of DLC announced for Dragonball FighterZ. Bardock and Brawly.
2 uninspired characters,
Is it
in my
Broly
opinion.
or Broly?
I think it's
Broly,
Broly.
right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Broly, Brawly. Fine. Broly. You know what would have been the inspired Broly choice? Bio Broly. Anybody remember
What?
Bio Broly?
Yes, I do.
Shut
From
the
like
fuck
the
up.
from like the 11th Dragon Ball movie, he's literally just like Broly, but like
They
covered in
should
sludge.
add Garlic Jr.
I would play as Garlic Jr. Fuck you, Garlic Jr. would be
I
dope.
think they should add Symbol.
Emperor Pilaf.
Wait, who's Symbol?
Isn't that from Super?
No, it's
No, it's-
Dragon Ball.
Ah,
What
Pick-
was
pick-
they're never
Piccolo-
gonna add Dragon
Piccolo
Ball
had a
characters.
bunch of minions that were all like musical instruments.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
he's Piccolo.
okay.
One of them was
Yeah.
Symbol, and I think there was like a drum
There was-
snare or something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Also, I think I saw a screenshot the other day. Bardock does have a Super Saiyan mode,
That's silly.
which is silly. I think I could maybe I
I thought he
misinterpreted
went
that.
Super Saiyan in his
So,
film.
No.
No, he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets obliterated.
And yes, Scarecrow in chat is a good point. Add launch or we riot.
I mean, here's the thing.
She'd be a
Like,
great character.
I'd
First
rather
of
have
all-
Bulma.
Thank you.
They-
Lacompa also corrected me. I'm thinking of Tambourine. That was another one of Piccolo's minions.
Lunch.
first of all, nothing against Bardock,
Uh-huh.
but they literally picked another character that is literally Goku. Like,
Yeah,
he
correct.
looks like Goku. They gave him a scar on his face so you can tell him apart, and he wears the
The
Saiyan armor.
bandana or whatever.
I don't even think he's wearing the bandana.
Oh,
in
wow.
this.
Nick. He is the Jor-El of the fucking Dragon Ball mythos.
Sure, I'll give you that.
He's actually not at all that.
Y'all aren't excited about Broly though?
No.
No,
Really.
not at all. Fuck that.
I don't know if. Have
I
you
would
not-
Why is
prefer-
his hair green?
I would prefer Kid Trunks over Broly.
Why is Broly's hair green?
Why not?
I don't like it.
I just-
Wait,
They should
green?
change that. Yeah, it's like a yellow green. It's different from
Yeah.
the other Super Saiyans. It's
if you
weird.
compare it, yeah,
It's
is.
really-
No, I remember that in the movies, but I always kind of attributed that just to like the lighting and the.
Master Roshi
You're
would have been a better character to add.
Master Roshi.
They should add Mr. Popo.
Mr. Satan.
Mr. Popo's boring.
Hercule.
First of all, Nolan, do you remember? So you remember your poster you used to have with all the.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I still have it.
just
Somewhere around there.
Dragon Ball Z is just one of those shows where there are so many characters they could put.
Mm-hmm.
We could have this conversation for days as
But
to
I'm
which
just
characters
saying,
they should add.
they're very uninspired choices in my opinion.
I mean, everybody likes Saiyans, so they're like, let's just add more Saiyans. Fuck it.
Where's our great Saiyaman?
dude, I would rather have King Kai as a playable character.
But like at some
over
point, you
Broly.
gotta realize.
Dude,
I would
Kai-
rather have Bubbles over Broly.
Bubbles!
Gary.
I'm just saying. You say Great Saiyaman. That's fucking Gohan, man. It's adult Gohan. What do you want me to tell you? It's a palette swap at most.
Just a skin.
Like as much as I would love to see Majin Vegeta, it's a palette swap.
King Yama.
Yeah.
King Yama?
Yes, King
King
Yama.
Cold, bitch. I'm just kidding.
King Cold.
What about... I still think Bulma
What
would
about
be an
Bulma's
inspired
parents?
Characters we've never met. Wait, never mind.
No, we
have.
know our parents.
You're right.
Yeah,
never
we
mind.
met
You're right.
The father
Yeah.
can just throw his
Cat.
fucking cat at
He
the
just
enemy.
throws capsules. Like,
Yeah.
No, that would actually be
No,
really
that's
cool.
what I'm saying for Bulma. I think that would be great.
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi's daddy. You mean the Ox King?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Oxygen Chi-Chi daddy.
I'm pretty sure Chi-Chi's daddy's
a weird
Goku.
way.
Let's have a quick vote, guys. Do we want to name this episode the Hot Gollum Show or the Chi-Chi Daddy
I
Show?
like Chi-Chi daddy.
I like Hot Gollum. Chi-Chi daddy's not a conversation.
I
we're
like
ever
WoW.
doing.
No, we're going with Hot Gollum. All right.
off.
Anyways,
Moving on. Moving on.
next, we have what else is there?
I haven't seen this trailer yet.
There's a new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. Y'all didn't watch this?
No, but I watched the Pro ZD video making fun of it.
Oh, you're gonna be you're gonna be one of those,
It
huh?
was so good.
But they basically confirmed the Monsters Inc. world like months ago.
That was a leak and it was not confirmed, and a lot of people were wondering.
Mike Wazowski.
But if you saw those screenshots, like those were clearly from a developer build. I mean,
I'm sure. I'm not incredibly surprised that Monsters Inc. has been confirmed, but yeah, I don't know. Fuck it, fucking Monsters Inc. This is great. Am I literally the only person in this room excited for Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, I'm excited.
Oh, okay. I wasn't entirely sure.
I'm exactly half excited.
There you go. You were excited?
Although, to be honest, of the worlds that they've confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 3 so far, I've felt a little disappointed by.
well, Toy Story.
There's a
Monster-
severe lack of like classic Disney.
I mean, the problem is, Nick, classic Disney's been in many games of horror.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want them to add?
Wait, what are the confirmed worlds?
Toy Story, Monsters Inc.
Cars.
What is it? Big Hero 6?
Big Hero 6?
Have they shown Big Hero 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the few they've shown.
Dude,
Okay.
let's get some fucking Wall-E up in here.
Just make it a fucking
Incredibles.
Pixar game.
I mean, that's kind of what it's turning into at this point. I think that... Wait, did they confirm Mulan? Or am I... I could be wrong on that.
Up might be a fun world.
Up yours.
With
That world's boring.
Why are people in chat...
Kevin?
Who
Dude,
the fuck
and
cares
the
about-
talking dogs?
Who the fuck cares? That world's boring.
What about
That-
the
that was a-
Rescuers?
Down Under?
Well, that's the sequel. But
Yeah.
the Rescuers.
The actual rescue.
Why is
Wait, how come DuckTales hasn't ever been a thing? Right? Right? DuckTales? We love DuckTales.
Because they've already addressed... Because
They just make everyone ducks, right?
What would,
aren't
what would
Huey-
happen to
aren't
Donald?
Huey-
Oh, here's
Huey
the...
just
I
be
think
dumb?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie are
Dude,
in...
I would love it if Donald just morphed into this like insane
That would be
fucking.
no, it would be just like a bit, right? Like he'd be a duck, and they'd be like, oh, and be like, oh, shrug, and then continue on, right? I don't know. Fuck you guys.
It like causes a paradox.
Fuck you guys.
create a time paradox.
I don't know why people suddenly in chat started talking about me being old.
You're old, Nick.
Is it because I'm talking about classic Disney?
Yeah.
All right,
Fuck you
moving
guys.
on.
Sword-
There should be a
Like
Jim-
Toy Stories and classic
Sword
Disney.
in the
You gotta
stone,
understand,
bitches.
Toy Story
There
is older
should-
than a lot of people. In
You know,
our chat.
Disney owns the Jim Henson Company.
That's irrelevant.
There should be a Muppet World.
That's irrelevant.
They also own Star Wars
Yeah,
and
they also
Marvel.
own Star Wars and Marvel. So,
So
no, that's
where
irrelevant.
is that shit?
All right, move on. What's next?
We're gonna go to the
Is that all
aliens
in the
world.
news?
I think there's one more involving
That-
Deep Silver.
Muppet
yeah, there
Treasure Island.
There it is.
That was a good movie.
We got
THQ
Kevin
Nordic
Fever.
has acquired Koch Media.
Coke.
It's pronounced Coke.
Koch Media.
Wait,
I don't know how you could ever see that word and pronounce it cock.
No. What are you talking about? Cock. I see it.
It's right there.
Wait, look,
right in
is
front
it-
of your
is it
eyes.
K-O-C-H.
Like, as in,
Nolan, I'm trying to be an adult about
in the
this,
Koch
okay?
brothers?
I'm sorry.
like that, those Cokes?
Actually, it was a subsidiary, yeah.
Koch Media.
Really?
Oh my
I think
God.
so.
So THQ Nordic is
Guys,
like
I'm getting really nervous.
getting
Butters?
right wing.
Butters is
Butters.
dangerously close to the camera.
You're scaring me.
Oh God, Butters, you son of a bitch! God damn it, Butters, you
Fucking
black
hell.
asshole!
Oh my God. The dog just knocked over all of our cameras, our lights and everything.
Oh, you're a bad dog, Butters.
I was like, something bad is about to happen.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Well, we started screaming at him and he
Yeah.
and didn't know what to do. Oh, you poor asshole.
All right, back to the show. What
Oh
are
my
we talking
God.
about, Cox?
We're talking about Koch. Okay, sorry. I'm going to be serious for a second. Sorry, Butters. THQ Nordic acquires Koch Media, which includes Deep Silver, Dead Island, and Metro. THQ Nordic is making some big moves,
They are.
which is strange considering
They're being rebuilt. Like, where are they getting all this fucking capital?
I have
Jesus
Investors.
Christ. Like, they have yet to actually put out a game.
They have a super PAC.
DB Cooper.
You mean Tommy Wiseau?
Oh no.
But I mean, they have yet to release a game. They're still
Biomutant.
Biomutant is still on the way.
Metro is some they own Metro now. How do you feel about that?
Darksiders 3, they're still
Darksiders
working
3.
on.
Yeah.
Like, oh my fucking god.
We should call
Big Bat says drugs, Chris. Drugs is where it's coming from.
It might, you know what, it fucking might be, I don't know.
DB Cooper.
Or for them to acquire Deep Silver, which already had a
Deep Silver has a pretty deep catalog at this point.
yeah.
So, I don't know. That's a pretty big purchase.
Hopefully they'll fucking can whatever is left of Dead Island 2.
that game can't still be a thing, can it?
I don't know.
Wait.
That was 2
Didn't they
E3s
already
ago that we
do
saw it.
Dead
It looked like
Island?
garbage.
Yeah.
No, it was 3 E3s
Was it
ago.
3
Oh,
E3s?
was that the trailer?
That
with,
was
like,
the same-
Jack Black in it, or
No.
No.
No, it was the one with the girl running on the beach.
Yeah.
And there's the zombies with chasing her and she doesn't really.
There was wasn't there like rollerblading or roller skating or something?
Yeah, something like that. Like, they were trying to take the tone of Dead Island and make it a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like
They were trying to make it feel like
I went to the meeting where they showed the
Oh,
game.
we were there. We were there.
And it was the same year we saw, I think, Dying Light. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
sounds
remember
right.
being like, one of these looks
not
really
like the
good,
other.
and one of them looks like hot garbage. So I don't know. I really hope that game is just dead, but we'll see.
Oh my
They're still releasing stuff for Dying Light.
Really?
They did a
Oh,
Valentine's
the
Day
Valentine's
event.
Day. Dude, that is a company who fucking cares about their fucking game.
Yes, and you know what, guys? I every once in a while I think back on like my my top 10 games of previous years, and every once in a while I have a regret. And there was the year that Dying Light came out, I put Bloodborne my number 1, and I put Dying Light my number 2. I think I regret that decision.
Oh, boo.
Dying Light is so fucking good.
Boo.
Dude, the number of hours I spent playing that game with community members is just...
I loved
So-
every
so-
second of that game,
that game's
whether I was
fantastic.
playing by myself or playing with community
that game
members.
scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
They're, like, the fact that there's a game that takes place during day and night, and the first, 20 hours of the game, I refuse to play it at night because it scared the shit out of me.
It's horrifying.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
I really hope that game gets
Oh,
a
and that
sequel.
fucking hook shot.
Oh, yeah.
That was
good.
amazing.
And fucking the buggies, remember?
I didn't play the expansion.
Oh,
The
expansion was so good.
expansion was so good.
I feel like we're gonna get a 2 announcement.
I really,
this year.
really hope
I would
we
enjoy
do.
that very much.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think that's all the news we have this week,
That's the way the news
which
goes.
means Nolan.
It's the community. Shut up, Chris Davis. No more time for the community.
No more time for the community.
No more time for that. It's time for the community. One new patron this week. Stanford.
Stanford, thank you.
Thanks, Stanford.
Is it? Hey, what about last week?
Was there one last
Because
week?
we didn't have a podcast last week. I feel like there was a couple.
Have we previously mentioned Megan?
No, we have not.
Megan. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
And Rise of the Ninja. I think we mentioned Rise of the Ninja.
Yeah, we
before.
mentioned Resident
Yeah,
Evil.
so Megan.
Thanks, Rise of the Ninja. Anyways,
You don't get a second thank you.
Megan and Stanford. Thanks for being patrons.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So speaking of patrons, let's get to some questions from our patrons. First question this week comes from Internet Loading Faster.
What?
No, my
That would be a great internet.
I hate when I have like a page open and then
Yeah.
I tab out of it and I go back to it and it
doesn't
like,
wanna load.
it reloads the page. I'm like, dude, I already have fucking.
That's the
open.
worst. By the way,
Anyway.
if you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/4player.
So first question from Necrotechno: Who is the wokest member of the podcast?
All right. I think that's me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Nick, I don't even think you know what woke means.
I thought I should be like, can someone please define, like, definitively? Like, I know how it's used. Stay woke! But I want to know, like, the definitive definition of woke. I feel like Krispy is probably the most woke of us and could probably tell me what exactly
Super
woke means.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty
Crispy's so woke, he's asleep.
Yeah, I'm like operating on a different level of consciousness. I'm not even white.
Does it?
I'm so woke.
Does
And
anybody
that
in this,
kind of brought my wokeness down a little.
I would say so. I would definitely say so.
does anybody in this room and this couches actually even know what woke actually means?
Yes.
All right, what is it? Tell me.
Like,
It means exactly what it sounds like.
socially progressive.
Yes,
Awake?
it means you
But,
are
like-
aware of what is going on. You understand. You like.
Okay, that's kind of what I was
Fucking
thinking.
See behind the curtain. You're
Yeah.
shattering the grand illusion, yo.
Yes.
All right,
I don't
Stay woke.
I think we're all pretty woke then.
I mean, I think Crispy's our film woke.
That's Chris Davis, stop. That is not how that works at all. Go eat a Charleston Chew and stop.
Yeah. Well, they gave women the vote. What else do they want?
All right.
Oh God! What the fuck? God
That's
damn.
Chris Davis.
All right. Moving on.
I'm editing that out of the video.
Moving
Oh my
on.
God, that was good.
Next question from the Metal Button.
I hope that answered your question.
Has late running podcast ever screwed you over the next morning for work?
Yes.
I have slept through my alarm a few times watching you idiots. Thanks. Granted, I'm an hour behind your time zone. With love, the Metal Button.
Behind us?
Yeah, that's weird.
He's behind us so that he.
But
So
yeah,
he's got an hour ahead. I don't even get home until like after midnight, and then I have to. Well, I've been editing the show before I leave. Then I have to post the show to get scheduled to go live the next morning.
definitely when we used to do the podcast at Brad's house, and I lived in New Braunfels, and it took me like over an hour, like close to an hour, almost an hour and a half to get home. Yeah, there were definitely. I hated whatever day of the week, we've changed the podcast so many days, but whatever the next day was, I always regretted it, just because lack of sleep.
I mean, I am always pretty groggy the day after a podcast. But my boss knows that I do this podcast, and he knows Thursday. He's so used to it now. He knows Thursday night's my podcast. So like every day, he's like, "How'd last night go? Tired? You look tired."
I will say that I actually do enjoy doing the podcast on Thursdays, because even though I do have work the next day, it's Friday. Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. That's the good thing. That's what. Yeah.
Isn't that right, Naraj?
Nobody actually works on Friday.
Every Thursday is a Bon Jovi Friday.
All right, moving on. Nexus. Do you guys normally cook at home or eat out more often? What is your typical dinner meal?
I think I'm about a 50-50 split, and a lot of that has to do with... so I actually use one of the meal services. I've been using that for like almost a year now, I think.
Has it been going well for you?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Blue
I
Apron,
use
right?
HelloFresh.
Oh, HelloFresh, sorry.
Which is great. So I get 3 meals a week that I cook at home, which is nice. But yeah, other times
For me, it used to be like 90-10. But then ever since I moved here, I just my schedule's been off, and we moved to a new building.
It used to be 90 cooking and 10 eating out, and now it's kind of
correct. Well, like the thing is, in my old building, I was in a cubicle, and I would bring my lunch, and I would sit in my cubicle, and I would eat, and I would like catch up on podcast stuff or whatever, But now I'm in a new building, and I don't have that. It's like an open work environment, and all my coworkers are walking up to my desk. Hey, Nolan, you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And even like today, I brought my lunch to work, but they were like, "We're going to Brotherton's," and I was like, "Oh fuck, Brotherton's! I'm in."
Brotherton's?
Oh, you were missing out, man.
Oh,
I
don't
work-
live up here.
That sounds like a printer manufacturer.
It's Brotherton's
And those-
Black Iron Barbecue, and if whatever barbecue you're thinking of, it's better.
Well, I mean, there is no good barbecue around here, but
Whoa.
Go fuck yourself.
So I made
Brotherton's is open until they are sold out.
yeah, like Franklin's.
Yes.
Like plenty of barbecue places around here.
So
That I was joking. There's some good ones, but Salt Lick is not one of them.
What's up next?
Salt Lick is bad.
No, I agree.
Salt Lick's not bad.
Salt Lick's bad. Salt Lick.
Salt Lick should not use a mustard-based sauce, in my opinion.
They should do so many things differently than what they do. But
Nick, what were you gonna say?
I'm sorry, I was distracted by Krispy saying that
Salt Lick's bad.
it's not bad.
By the truth. That's how woke I am, Nick.
You say bad like it's inedible.
It is.
You know what's some good
You're
barbecue?
full of shit. You eat a Burger King. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Chris would agree with me on this. Valentina's is pretty good barbecue.
I've had Valentina's twice.
Oh, you haven't been to Valentina's?
No.
Oh, dude.
I've had Valentina's twice, and I've been kind of
I don't know
like
what that
underwhelmed both times. It's
Really?
right now. It's just a truck. They're building a.
Was it good?
No, they have a location on Mancheck now.
It's a truck that's placed in the parking lot of the building they're waiting to move into.
It is?
Yes.
It
Have you
looks like
never been to Valentina's? I'm sorry. We need to move on. This is neither here nor there. I just wanted to say, because I've been doing the HelloFresh thing for a while, I love it. But occasionally I get. So like this week, I had a recipe that was literally like it was like stir-fried beef with like roasted broccoli over rice, right? Mm-hmm. Delicious, right? Mm-hmm. It says it gives you the calorie count. It's like this is 700 calories. It has like a peanut sauce on it. It's like all right, cool, whatever. But it's for 2 people
Per serving. Yeah.
per serving,
You
2
eat the whole
people,
thing?
right? I was eating alone that night. I cooked the whole thing. I eat half, and I'm like, fuck, I'm still hungry. But I was gonna take the other half to work for lunch the next day.
Sure.
I was like, but I'm like, my stomach was actually growling, so I was like, fuck it. So I ate the other half.
It's 1,400
calories.
That's a lot.
I felt so bad. And then the next day I had to go out for lunch.
Yeah.
So I felt bad again.
Do you get to like choose what you want every week?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They give you a list of 10
They give you choices.
They give you
Okay.
10 recipes and you choose the 3 you want.
Okay.
And
Every
they send
week?
every week.
Another list of 10.
Yes.
Oh wow. I don't know. I eat out way too much.
Yeah, same here.
I probably still, despite all that,
I've maintained my lovely physique.
I probably still eat out probably more than I should.
Yeah.
But
it's tough.
that'll
I'm just
probably
like-
change because when Robin moves in with me, because she doesn't like to eat out. So
I would like to do one of those like Stay Fresh or
HelloFresh
Blue
or Blue
Aprons or
Apron.
whatever.
I did Blue
Stay
Apron for a
Fresh.
while.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I had
It just seems like a scam. Like all they're doing is grocery shopping for you, and I
That
bet
is-
they're charging you
that.
way too much money for what you're getting.
Well, yeah,
No.
that's
I
exactly.
mean,
what
they're
it is.
giving you like single portions of food. Like, I mean, you could go buy all that stuff fresh and like.
So do it.
I know.
No, here's the
Good.
thing.
I
This
know.
is why I did this, because I hate grocery shopping. Because on any night that I choose to go grocery shopping, by the time I go grocery shopping, go home, cook dinner, eat dinner,
Well, how much
shower,
does that cost?
my night's over.
Why do you have to shower after
What's
making
the-
food?
I shower every night.
What do you do when you
I
make
shower
food?
every night.
Are
That's
you
what I
like
do.
standing on the couch?
He's really hands-on with the whole process.
Sometimes I shower before I
Wait,
eat.
okay, so how, like, it's a subscription-based thing, right?
It's $60 a week
$60 a week.
for 3 meals for 2 people.
Is it just
So-
like a
so that's
flat
a
rate? It
total-
always works
so
out
that's a total of
$240 a week?
I mean,
$40
Hold
a
on,
month.
that's a total of $10 a meal,
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
mean-
well,
right?
20
Wait,
for
so,
2 people.
So $240
Well, so $10
a month.
a meal
Yeah.
for 2 people, so 20 total. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's like equivalent of kind of going
That's
out, but
eating
the,
out prices.
but
like,
the
Yes,
food's higher
but
quality.
I'm also
Sure.
saving the time of not going to the grocery store.
but you're still
which-
cooking.
But the cooking
You can
takes
just go out to eat.
the longest I've ever
And save
spent.
that time, too.
The longest I've ever spent cooking a recipe is like 40 minutes, I think,
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes, and they're almost always really, really good.
Almost always. All right, we've been on this question
Sorry.
for way too long. Moving on, Mr.
So,
Green Toast.
Turbo Moss says, "Stop cooking naked."
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Ah, I never thought about that.
dude, when you're
He'd have
cooking
to wear
without
a
like
hairnet over his whole body.
when you're cooking naked and you try to
Don't
make
fry
bacon.
bacon. Don't fry
oh,
bacon.
God, it's horrible. It's horrible. Mr. Green Toast, have any of you ever gotten soft locked in a video game before? A soft locked is a save state in a game where you were placed in an inescapable situation, preventing progress forward in the game, and also preventing backtracking, leaving you stuck in a particular position with no
Yeah.
hopes of
It's a glitch,
escaping.
right?
Like,
Not
not
necessarily.
necessarily. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics. There's you can really easily get soft locked at the the fucking like the clockwork castle or like the mechanical castle or whatever it's called, because you have to do 3 fights in a row. There's no stopping between them. You can't like leave and you can't level up. You can't go buy new items or anything. And if you go into the first fight under leveled for like the boss fight that comes after it,
You're fucked.
you're fucked. Like you have to go back to whatever.
It happened to
Yeah.
me, similar to Nick, I think, in Fallout 3. I think you had a scenario like this too, where I did a save state right before a fucking
Oh,
super
yeah.
mutant shot
So-
a
yeah.
nuke at me.
So like you
And every
load it,
time
and the
you
nuke
load
hits
it,
you, and
nuke hits me.
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
No,
So
that's a good
I
one.
lost several hours of gameplay. That happens to me a lot in Fallout games.
Mine. This one was a glitch. If anyone remembers the game, I think it's called White Knight. Is that
That's
what
gotta
it
be
is?
White Knight.
The one where it's like it's stark contrast, where it's black and white. and
yeah,
you're-
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Is that was it White Knight? Is that what it was called?
White
Someone,
Knight?
someone in
Something
chat should know.
like
I streamed this. This happened on my stream. I got into that game is like when you go into a different room, right? The camera shifts to the other room. It's like it's a fixed camera in every room. You move around the room. When you go to a new room, the camera shifts to that room, right? In my game, it glitched, and I was in a save room. But when you walk out of the room, the camera didn't switch over to follow me.
Follow with you, yeah.
So I couldn't see. I could continue to move the character into the next room and off screen, but I couldn't. The camera never moved with me, so I couldn't see him. So I literally, the only way I could have ever gotten out of that was because I was in a basement of this house. The only way I could have gotten out of that was to remember how I walked through and try and lead my character completely blind out that room through like 2 more rooms and up a stairwell into the other part so it would load in the next part of the house. I tried it for like an hour and I couldn't make it happen. I was so I never finished that game.
I think another. So I can think of 2 other games actually. There was Pikmin 2, I think. And there might have been a way I could have gotten it out, but I couldn't find it. I was in like a cave system, and I needed the purple Pikmin.
Yeah.
To either lift something or break rocks or whatever it was. But they died to an enemy, and I just couldn't progress because I didn't have enough Pikmin to lift something. And there might have been some weird way, but I never figured it out.
See,
the
that's-
other one was Lost in Blue. Similar to Metal Gear Survive, you go out into the world and you have to bring like food and water with you to survive while you're out
You're
doing
trapped on
things.
an island.
Correct. And so I went off to do something, and I tried to I get through some cave or something, but like I couldn't do it. Like I kept dying, and every time the save I had would put me not far back enough to go get more food or whatever.
That
But,
super
that's why I
sucks.
never ended up finishing. Lost
This
in
is
Blue.
why Q&A is important, but you can't catch everything.
I soft locked on Final Fantasy X and it prevented me from beating the game.
And you never
That
you never
sucks.
beat it?
No, I never beat it.
You never beat Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games ever.
I'm sorry. Like I had just defeated Sin. I leveled up just enough to defeat Sen, and I defeated him. And then there's like that Rainbow Road-esque thing that's right after it, full of very fucking hard enemies.
Wait, so this is like the end of the game.
So get
Yeah,
good,
the very
son.
end of the game. And so there's like a checkpoint towards the middle of that, but I ran out of like healing items and like all my stuff was, and I couldn't go back because it was way too
You
far.
didn't get soft locked. You needed to get good.
I think you got the wrong overlay, by the way. This is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh,
It
I
should show Patreon.
Chris. fucking Davis.
Boo.
Next question from the dishwasher, or sorry, just dishwasher. It's not a person. It's like a machine.
Dish.
Answering this question. I'm bad at thinking
There
of
we
good questions.
Cool.
That's it.
Cool.
I'm just kidding. What types of questions are some of your favorite to answer?
I hate
Food
these.
related.
I hate these kind.
What are some examples of bad or boring questions?
Great questions are about food.
SMG comments asking a question about questions. How meta.
Good question. Let me answer that.
With a
In the
question.
form of a question.
I will say, I this is no offense to anyone who's asked these kinds of questions. The questions that I'm not a huge fan of are the ones that are
You know
like,
you're about to get more of those.
I know, well, but they're like do like make like will they ask you to like make up a game or a concept or something that like honestly it's not the kind of thing you just kind of like
It can be hard on the spot.
it like questions that are really hard to answer on the spot.
Yeah.
I like questions that are based in personal experience because your mind immediately jumps to like a bunch of different things you could say. So like talking about food, talking about
Dicks in your butt.
certain games, talking about porn.
Yeah.
Like what are scenarios that we have to think about? Like it's really hard to do on the spot.
And
They're interesting questions. Like they are fun to think about. I just feel like sometimes our answers we don't have enough time.
So
to
no,
like,
they're
really sink our
if we
teeth
maybe
into it.
pre-screen them or something, but it's bad podcast material in the sense that it's audio of us going,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of that.
ironically,
Thinking cat.
this
It's a
Wow.
Thinking Man's podcast.
this question in and of itself is a good question because we obviously have a lot to say about it.
Yeah. And Carlos brings up a good point. Bad questions are yes and no, unless you can like explain. You don't
No.
just be like, "Have you ever been to Astroworld?"
But I mean, unless they're like really juicy yes or
I
no questions
know.
that we're comfortable answering, like
Yeah.
you know,
All right, let's move on. We got
Yeah,
two more
probably-
questions.
probably
Keep
There are
going.
no
Keep
wrong
going.
questions.
Wingless.
Bad questions.
Which of you is the cheapest, and who lives the most baller life? Who drives the Lambo and throws on the Rolex when Davis cuts the stream? Who drives the 1982 Civic that is held together with duct tape and changes their oil every 2 weeks?
Brad.
What gets what? CIROC? Oh, who gets Ciroc?
Ciroc.
What's Ciroc?
That's like
A drink?
alcohol,
Okay.
fancy
I
alcohol.
don't drink that much. Who gets Ciroc on a Friday night to go out with their surf and turf? And who gets vodka for the mysteriously low price of $4? Keep up the good work, guys. Wang.
Nolan owns this house, and it has 2 stories. He's fucking low.
I own a house that has 2 stories.
That's true. Nick has a point.
You have a condo. That
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
It's attached to somebody else's condo.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is true.
And your roommates with
No
a with a
But I think the
raccoon.
reason I have this house is because I'm cheap as fuck.
Well, sure.
Because I don't go
and
out.
because you married rich.
Well, that's
Yeah, that's true.
I did marry up. But no, for me, it's like you talking about going out and getting Ciroc or vodka. I go out and get neither. Do you realize how much
I go out and get a
alcohol
good
costs?
night's sleep.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much a soda cost at Alamo Draft House? $4 dollars.
But
are you kidding
it's pretty
me?
big.
Dude, I go to the, but
And
I
it's unlimited refills.
You really
And
gotta
how
like.
many times do they actually refill it?
You have to put up a fucking card every time.
Yeah.
You refill. I mean,
And
come
then
on.
it takes them 10 minutes to come by. Or you
Dude,
don't
I
spend the
fucking-
$4 and you get a free water.
I go for
And
it.
all of a sudden, after 1 year of going to the movie 12 times, all of a sudden you have like an extra like $60-$70. That's a video game.
I don't know what this says about me as far as like my spending habits necessarily, but since I started dating Robin, I've gone to the Alamo Draft House probably like on average 2 to 3 times a month. And when we go, I mean, usually we take turns paying, but like every trip to the Alamo Draft House after we get
Ends up
several
being, like,
beers,
50, 60
food,
bucks.
tickets,
Or more,
about
yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
You're a victory member, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That only gets you
Yeah.
so
I was like,
far.
what's that? What is that? What am I missing out?
right this way.
Fuck yeah, I'm a commandant. Is that the?
Commandant's
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, I'm a
I'm too
commandant.
away from that.
One
I'm a
of those.
commandant.
I
Bitch.
don't even know what I am.
I'm just a captain.
But yeah, no. So I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a personal question.
Yeah,
I mean,
How much money would you say you spend on porn? I'm just kidding.
Dude,
well,
you
the
get
answer
that
is
shit for
none.
free.
None. The answer is 0.
I rent a house with 3 other people.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm probably on the lower end, but
I
do okay.
I have a roommate. We rent an apartment together,
I hustle.
and the other side of that thing is that I save up money for like big projects.
Yeah.
Like last year's project was my new computer, which cost me $4,000, and I just did my this year's new project, which was a new TV, a PS4 Pro, and a new surround sound system.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't know
Chris
what that
Davis
makes
is
me.
the cheapest. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, Brad's the cheapest.
Just kidding. Brad is the cheapest.
Brad is
Yeah.
the
Without question.
But even before you had the
Even
baby.
I'm
before-
so sorry. I'm not trying to. Never mind. Let's just move on.
He was
sorry.
constantly asking for us to carpool him over to
Yeah.
Nolan's.
Well, I mean, first of all, if there are multiple people driving from south, it
Austin,
should
that
be a
does make
carpool
sense.
situation.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's better for the environment, Chris Davis.
Think of the environment. God damn it.
All right, let's just
You need
move
to get a
on.
little
Final
more.
question from SMG Sterling. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. I'm just kidding. Everybody on the podcast has a pet of some kind.
No.
Chris has cats. Brad has his dogs. Crispy has his roommate's dogs. Nolan has Butters and a small rainforest worth of birds. Not really. Nick,
I mean,
out of all the other podcast members' pets, which one would you choose to own?
Butters.
And no, Robin's cats does not count.
Oh.
Cat does not count.
Well, in that case, Butters.
Oh, okay.
I've always kind of wanted a husky, so I'm gonna live vicariously
They're a
through you.
handful.
I'm gonna live vicariously through Nolan.
He shits a lot.
But
Like
he's so
4
damn
times a day.
He's so damn cute, even when he's tearing down all of our shit.
wow,
Yeah.
really 4 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I think it's just because. we
Wait, I'm
take
sorry.
him
Did you
out,
say 4 times
and
an
I'm
hour?
Like, Butters, go poo. No, a day.
Oh, okay.
He once in the morning we wake up. Bernadette before Bernadette goes to work. When I get home from work, and then once when we go to sleep. Now, granted, they're not like that big. I mean, they're all like they're fairly small.
I am going to be inheriting Robin's cat, though. Who likes to
When she dies?
No. When she moves
When you
in,
kill
I'm
her
gonna have
for
a
the
cat in the house
insurance?
all of a sudden. That cat likes to like push its face into my face at like 3 a.m.
Cats do
Like
that.
it'll stand on my chest
Yeah.
and just push its forehead into my eye
Does
and
it-
just
Does
push,
it
It
like
likes
to?
you.
and then push until I wake
Does
up.
it like to drink from glasses?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Well, you can always borrow Butters when he goes on vacation.
That's voluntary.
Not with
That's-
a cat in the house, though.
No, yeah, probably
Butters
not a
would
good idea.
probably go after it.
Wait, you had a raccoon?
You do have a raccoon.
I had a raccoon situation in my house shortly after I first
Dad
moved
had
in.
a bat.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That situation has been resolved.
That you know of.
No, trust me, I'm aware. If it hadn't, I'd probably smell it by now. You know what I mean?
It may have just moved on, and maybe you come back.
That is
Well,
all the
hopefully it just
questions
moved
this
on.
week from our lovely patrons. Thanks to all our patrons for asking those questions. They were all pretty good this week.
Yeah.
Every week we post a thread on Patreon at patreon.com/4Player where you can ask us any question
You can ask us if you are at. All it takes is $1. $1 a month of support for us, and you can ask us any question you want. You also get early access to all of our podcasts without ads, 24-hour early access. And yeah, you can ask us any question you want. We will answer them all on every episode every Thursday night. So yeah. All right. Let's wrap this baby up. 4-player minute. Hype, sweat, thank you, fuck you, or any combination of those. Who's going to start us off? I think Crispy just nodding his head. So that
Oh, okay. My hype this week. This week.
Wow.
My hype this week is
Dead Air.
yeah,
Go on.
is Silence.
That was an okay movie.
I don't know. Come back to me. Give me my phone.
All right. I'll do my 4-player minute, which starts now. My hype is for tomorrow morning. Sorry, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Friday. Saturday morning. We are taking Butters to his first official day of doggy training. Jesus Christ!
I'm so
Nick.
sorry. That
It's
was
an
probably
audio
really loud.
podcast.
Nicholas.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to get him trained to be a good puppo, a puppers. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it goes well. Because yeah, he looks cute, but yeah. So that's my hype. My sweat goes to Persona 5.
That's on my list of other games that I haven't.
I have still been playing it here and there over the past 2 weeks. I've probably played it for maybe 8 hours. Every once in a while, I'll pick it up. I really fucking want to finish that game, but the problem is to play a Persona game, you got to be in a mood. You got to be in a mood to sit.
You got to be in the mood
and read a lot and listen to some really good music. But sometimes I'm in the mood for combat, but it's not really. It can't happen right now. I already finished this dungeon. I have to wait for the next one. Whatever. So I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm worried. I want to finish that game. I really do. I've enjoyed what I played it, but I want to finish it. My fuck you this week is gonna go to Konami, because of course, fuck you, Konami. Metal Gear Survive is a decent fucking game. Go fuck yourself for using the Metal Gear name on this game.
The only reason they did that is because that's the only way it was going to sell at all.
The game should have been called Try to Survive Konami, and you play as Hideo Kojima, and you're trying to... God damn it, Butters. God damn it.
Butters fart.
And my fuck you goes to this week goes to Butters for fucking farting. God, it smells.
He's gonna fart like every fucking
my
episode.
God.
You asked for this, Nolan. You asked for this.
I thought he was lactose intolerant. We stopped giving him cheese, and that worked for like a little while, but now he's fucking farting again.
We found something.
Well,
that's it.
Godspeed.
Oh,
Maybe the trainers can help with that too.
Oh man. My 4-player minute. The first hype I have. God, I had a good one. Until just a second ago. It's for the Metro coverage that's been going on right now. Game Informer has had it as their game of the month. The cover. Oh my God, it just hit me.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Oh man, it's wafting.
Yes. Yeah, and they're describing the game, and they are saying all the right wonderful things I've been hoping for. And they just described like the fucking morality system today, and it sounds so good. I am so excited for this game. My second hype is a minor hype.
Wait, do we know when that's coming out
hype.
yet?
Huh?
Do we know when that's coming out yet?
I mean, this fall.
Okay.
My second hype is a tepid hype. It's for a game called Onrush. It's being developed by Codemasters, but it basically looks like MotorStorm, but slightly more colorful.
Hey, some of those more recent MotorStorm games were pretty colorful.
Like Apocalypse was a great idea. It was the multiplayer was fucking static with nothing exciting happening at all. But no, it actually kind of looks good, and it comes out in June. I kind of want to check it out.
Cool.
My sweat for this week goes to Metal Gear Survive, because I want to give this game the benefit of the doubt, because I mean the developers at Konami, they're people too.
I guess.
I mean, they've got to earn a paycheck. You got to get. I want to give them a chance.
I never said anything bad against the developers. I said fuck you, Konami.
Oh, Konami developed the game. I don't know. I want to give the game a fair chance. And after seeing that like giant monster thing this afternoon, I kind of want to just spend the weekend just focused on it. And I guess my other thing is it's another sweat. So I kind of feel obligated to play Final Fantasy 15 now that it's coming out on Windows next month.
You feel obligated to play Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah, because everybody else played it when it came out, and I never got around to trying
of all the Final Fantasies that I would say you were obligated to play, that is not one of them.
Here's a tip, Chris Davis. Final Fantasy 15 is bad.
I wouldn't go as far as Nolan saying it's bad.
Really? Because I mean, they've done a lot of patches,
Nolan,
a lot of changes.
They
to
put
it.
Gordon
Davis.
Freeman's hazard
Chris Davis,
suit.
what is your favorite thing about a Final Fantasy game?
I mean, I guess the world and the setting.
Okay, what is your second favorite thing?
Because like Nolan, all right, that's pretty good.
No,
that's pretty good.
What's
the
your
right
second
answer?
favorite thing, Chris Davis?
Probably the music.
All right, third.
We're gonna keep going until I guess.
Hey, the music in Final Fantasy 15 wasn't that great.
It's pretty good. It's okay.
I don't know the writing and the characters.
Okay, that is shit in Final Fantasy 15.
All right, I'm not even gonna go as far as Nolan here, but it is definitely
It could be better.
It is.
No, it's fucking horrible.
It is probably the characters and the writing is probably one of the lower points of the.
Chris Davis. They advertise this as Dude Bro Adventures. That's not what it fucking is.
I mean, I barely paid attention to it when it was in development, so I never played a demo.
I'm just saying, I would
saw the launch
prioritize.
trailer.
I would prioritize finishing Final Fantasy X before playing Final Fantasy 15.
Well, that's
I
not
agree
going to
with you.
happen.
All right.
'Cause that was back on the
Have
PS2.
you played Final Fantasy 9?
I love Final Fantasy 9.
Have you played 8,
Yes.
7,
I have beaten 7, 8, and 9 at
12.
least 2 or 3
12?
times each.
12?
I didn't like 12.
Fuck you.
Hate
Play
the combat
Zodiac
system.
Age.
I hate the combat system.
Play Zodiac Age.
You cannot make me enjoy that combat system.
The combat system in Final Fantasy 15 is not much better or different from Final Fantasy 12.
It's almost worse. It's kind of
Gotcha there.
clustery.
He's got you there.
Whatever.
He's
At
got
least,
you
at
there.
least 12 has the gambit system, and your companions will do what you fucking want them to, as opposed to this game. Well, they'll use up all your fucking magic.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
That is, I did put Final Fantasy 15 as my number 11. Just barely missed my top 10. So it's not terrible. But man, any other year when a Final Fantasy game came out, that would have been guaranteed top 5 at least. Top 5.
I don't care about Prompto.
Oh.
Who's Prompto?
The main character
No.
or the prince.
Nah, that's
Sorry.
not.
No, that's not.
Wait.
this.
Oh, sorry.
Prompto.
I can't. I'm even getting the fucking characters backwards.
Exactly, because it doesn't matter at the end of the game.
Is he in the annoying
Noctis
blonde
is the
kid?
main character.
Yes.
Prompto is like his
buddy friend.
his buddy friend who's kind of
Ignis
annoying.
is like the fucking I'm Ignis, and then Gladio or whatever.
Jaded.
But that being said, shit happens to these characters throughout the game that you're supposed to care about. Didn't give a fuck.
Hey, this is a 4-player minute. We should probably move on.
God damn it, Chris! Why is your 4-player minute taking so long?
Well, it's now time for Chris's.
Okay. I've got 4 hypes across 4 different media.
Okay.
You ready for this? First one, video game hype. Fucking Hunt. I don't even know what it's called.
Hunt Showdown.
Hunt Showdown. That really? Showdown?
It used to
Yeah.
be called Hunt Horrors of the Gilded Age.
That's so much better.
I agree.
God, that's
It probably didn't resonate with focus
There was
groups.
some fucking marketing director who was like, "It's a lot of words, you guys." Oh shit! Into the Breach is next week.
That's the 27th.
Never mind.
Holy
I
fuck.
have 5 hypes.
I forgot that was the
Hunt
Tuesday.
Showdown, Into the Breach, video games. Boom. Movies, Marvel's, Avengers, Infinity War is coming up, and I literally,
Like I said, guys, I'm gonna buy like 15 tickets when
I've
that
been
shit comes out.
steeping myself in the Marvel
Y'all better pay
movies
me back.
again, and I can't fucking wait for that shit show. It's gonna be amazing.
Annihilation?
What?
What about
What?
Annihilation?
That okay? You're derailing his
Sorry,
stop.
4-player minute.
Movie questions.
That movie looks good.
It does look good, but I'm like, it's not. I mean, it's probably gonna be a good movie, but I'm not gonna be into it until I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, just ask.
Just let me. Dragon Ball Super. I'm in the middle of that show right now. I'm about to get into the what do they call it? Like the universe, the tournament of universes or whatever.
Mhm.
Which I hadn't ever gotten up to that point before. I hadn't ever gotten into that, but that show's fucking good.
Wait, which show?
Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good, man. I'm really enjoying that. So that's like a TV anime hype, and then D&D hype. Next month, I believe it is. Wizards is releasing Mordenkainen's Tomb of Foes, which looks fucking cool. Can't wait. I want to get that book, but we'll see.
Nicely done.
So there you go.
Nicely done, Crispy. All right. I have 2 hypes. One, Moss finally has a
Oh,
release
fuck,
date.
that's Tuesday.
Tuesday,
God
27th.
damn it. Into the Breach and Moss come out on Tuesday.
Yes, so I'll be playing Moss sometime next week on the feed. Look for that. Game looks really cool, really charming. Can't wait to play it in VR. My second hype goes to, I don't know why, probably because of all the Red Dead Redemption 2 news coming out, but I've decided I'm going to find some time to squeeze in a replay of Red Dead Redemption before
pretty good
the sequel
game.
comes out. I'm gonna finish a couple of the games that I'm currently playing before I start that, but I'm excited to jump back into that game because I fucking love it. My thanks for the week goes to Robin for rewatching Game of Thrones with me. I haven't seen a lot of the earlier seasons in quite a while, and we've ended up watching 2 seasons of that show, both seasons in a day. Last Sunday
Jesus Christ.
or
It's like 10
2
hours.
Sundays ago, and then last Sunday.
Golly.
Did not intend to do it that way, but ended up barreling through the entire season. And she's addicted to it. She'd never seen the show before at all, but she loves Lord of the Rings. So I was like, you might like.
She loves
something
all the
like Game of
floppy
Thrones.
penises.
She's actually been disappointed by the number of penises in the show.
Not enough for her?
Not enough.
Oh.
She should watch Spartacus.
She's like, I was told there was way more penis in the show. And I was like, yeah, it's probably not as much as you.
Dude, and
They're
there's
expecting.
definitely a drop off.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, there is.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel sorry for her because she's like at the good part right now.
Don't
And then she's
don't
gonna
don't don't
To
start.
the bad part.
Don't start.
And
My fuck you of the week
that's-
goes to George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sorry. I think I'm done. Like I'm
Good. Be done.
I'm
Get out of
good.
here.
I'm done.
Fucking get out
I
of
think
here. We
I'm-
don't need you.
I think I'm happy just being I think I'm going to be happy. I'm just going to watch the show and be done with it.
Yeah, that
I don't think I'm going
is
to read these books until they're
the
all done.
defeatist attitude.
That's not going to happen, Nick. He's going to die.
He said he's putting Winds of Winter on hold again to finish an encyclopedia. And people
That's
have already
not exactly what he said, but okay.
It's more or less what he said.
No, it's not.
I'm not going to fight you on this. That really wasn't my fuck you. What was my actual fuck you? I didn't have one. Oh, my sweat. I wanted to talk about Hunt Showdown. It's early, like it's officially as of yesterday an early access game.
Yep.
And I'm kind of hesitant about early access games, but at the same time, like I'm fucking in love with Subnautica, so you know.
I tell you what, if you're interested in Hunt, check it out after E3.
Perhaps.
Give it 4 or 5 months more development in early access. See where it is then, and then decide.
But it looks like a game I absolutely want to play, for sure. So I'm both hyped and worried about it. But that's all I have. That's it. That's our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thanks.
We record these live every single Thursday night at 4pp.tv. 4playernetwork.com is the website. We'll be back next Thursday. We'll be talking about Into the Breach.
And Moss, yeah.
And Moss.
Yeah.
So it should be a pretty good show. What am I forgetting here?
Game of the Year.
Game of the Year videos are out. Go check those
Community
out.
Game of the Year video.
Community Game of the Year videos not out yet.
It's in...
Is it out?
I mean, did you finish the thumbnail?
Oh, God. I'm going to talk to you about this. Thank you guys so much for watching / listening. We'll catch you next Thursday night for another episode. Oh, Discord. I forgot to mention Discord. We'd love to have you guys in our Discord. It's free. Come join our community at discord.gg/4player. And holy shit, it
Raining
rained.
pretty hard.
Oh my God. Damn, we got to get out of here. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week. Good night.
Bye.